Hello, everyone. Before we get started on this week's episode, just a quick word that YouTube, in all its infinite wisdom, has decided that some of the Die Party games are now not suitable for advertising. It doesn't mean a whole lot for the content. I'm not going to censor the videos in any way, but if you'd like to lend your support so that Die Party can continue to grow, please check out the Patreon or subscribe on the Twitch channel. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another weekly episode of Die Party Abyss, a Hollow Earth Expedition role-playing experience that we do here on Twitch. It's been a while, gentlemen, since we played, and that's mostly on me. Mostly on Sheepdog, though, but mostly on me.
Wait, what'd I do?
Exactly.
Oh.
But let's go around and introduce everyone. Up first, we have Mr. Dreamer Boy. What up, sir? How you doing?
Doing good. Actually started streaming more regularly, which is cool.
Nice. Welcome
Stuff
to the
that I
club.
can stream.
Yeah, still doing Witcher.
Doing Witcher, Into the Breach, and music streams when I can.
What do you think of that Into the Breach?
I love it. I was an FTL guy though, so like this is just like a deeper layer.
So I've never I like those games, but I never really understood the whole the methodology of wanting to go back and just unlock everything. I'm not like there's not a completionist bone in my fucking body, you know. Like I beat the game and I'm just like, all right.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't generally beat FTL. Well, most people don't
Yeah.
beat FTL. You just keep losing until that one time when you barely scrape through, and then you get some new toys to play with next time.
Yeah, I only beat FTL once, and I played it for like hundreds of hours.
Really? I beat
But then-
FTL like the second time I played it.
And then I don't play on easy, like ever. I play on normal or hard all the time, just because that's the challenge. So, like I'm playing Witcher 3, all the stuff on Death March, just because. Why would you want to play it on easy mode?
Because the combat sucks.
The combat's actually really good on harder difficulties. Like you actually have to use everything in your arsenal to win.
Okay, I'll accept that. Yeah.
Like you need to use the right signs, you need to use the right oils, you need to use the right potions at the right times, or else you just die. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That gets me going anyway. It doesn't work for other people.
All right. Yeah.
But
that makes
also,
sense.
Nullspeak announced their game.
I was actually gonna mention that it's called the Breakout Club.
Blackout Club.
Blackout Club. What did I say? Breakout Club.
Breakout.
Yeah. Blackout Club.
The paddle and
The Breakout Club is about pimples. The Blackout Club is about blackouts.
Yeah.
It fits. They're teams.
A
So.
proud the new
True.
co-op horror game where you and your friends play teen investigators working to uncover a mysterious secret beneath the streets of your hometown. It actually looks pretty fucking frightening.
Yeah, it looks like a mash together of like Stranger Things and Left 4 Dead. That kind of like thing.
Yeah.
I'm super into it. I'm gonna play it.
I hope it's more horror, less combat than Left 4 Dead, though.
That's what
Yeah.
he's mentioned, at least anyway.
Yeah, because I like horror games where it's like, fuck you, you don't get to fight, just run, bitch. As opposed,
I think that's what it kind of is. Like, you
I
can
like when they
trap the
give you
guys,
the option to fight, but it's a waste of time.
yeah, that's also good.
Yeah.
Anyway, other than that, I just been making the music that I've been streaming because like there's a lot of stuff I can't stream. I'm working on a project that I can't talk about, and
Again? Man.
working with a local artist, and she's doing like pop stuff. But then I signed my first NDA, so that's cool. I can't talk about anything until whenever I can. So other than that, I've just been playing with Super NES sound fonts and making like Super Nintendo music.
Have you ever done that thing, and I don't know what it's called, but where they make music with a fucking Game Boy?
No, but I've been looking into it because
Like
it's
they have like a sound chip or something like that, where they plug it into the
Mhm.
slot, and then they like use the buttons on the
Yeah,
Game
there's
Boy
actually a
to make
special
music or
there's a
something?
special cart that you can't buy the card anymore. You have to buy like a memory card and then you send it to the company called Little Scale DJ, LSDJ,
Mm.
and then they send that to you and you have to plug that into your Game Boy Color or Game Boy like Gray Brick. There's a lot of Australian people who actually do that. A lot of my Australian friends, that's how I like met them, like Citrix and Darius Carlin, Tiasu, a bunch of chip people.
Is that always seems very fucking weird to me. That stuff, I get that they want to make music using everything, but like, why the Game Boy? Like, I don't know.
Well, like for the Gray Brick, like the first one,
Mm-hmm.
it has like a special chip called a DMG. Because the speaker's so fucking tiny, they had to like overdrive the bass. So now they're hacking Game Boys to like have the quarter-inch inputs, and then you can send those out to speakers. So then all of a sudden, with big speakers, you get like this overblown bass. So they can make really cool like dancey club stuff with the old Game Boy stuff because it's
Oh.
overdriven on the bass.
I had no
'Cause they had
idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just a different interface though. It's a tracker style, so like you're going down vertically and you have to like pick your note and like it's very rudimentary sounds and stuff like that, which is cool, but just something I haven't been able to do yet.
All right. Speaking about being cool, let's move on to Sheepdog himself, the coolest man in the world. If you ever need to smoke a marijuana, he's your man.
I know where all the marijuana is.
How you doing, dude? Been a while.
Speaking of shitty combat, how did you find Kingdom Come?
I enjoyed it. The arse end of the game is awful.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
last 6 hours of that game was just like
The-
fucking kill me, god damn.
From the bit where you go into the mine
The
and capture
monastery.
that.
Nope, the monastery.
Did the monastery fuck you? Like, did the monastery completely fuck your game?
I didn't get to the monastery. I got pissed off and rage quit.
The monastery is literally the fucking bane of my existence. Like, so the way that the monastery is supposed to work is the guy's supposed to poison you like the first time you eat in that game.
Yeah.
And he just never did it in mine. So I spent like a good 7 hours in the monastery. I shit you not. I was walking around being like, what the fuck does the game want me to do here? I ended up like breaking my, because I had a role play rule set for that character, which is to say, don't be sneaky, don't steal, whatever, you know.
I had similar, yeah.
And the monastery literally made me just go like, okay, so you could break out of the monastery and do like it actually tells you to break out of the monastery and go get some wine for a dude in the monastery. I'm like, okay, cool. But all the doors are like very hard locks, and I'm just like,
The lockpicking is trash in that game.
it's
I hate
very
it.
no, it's very easy. Like the lockpicking is very easy. The problem is that like that's the one game in the world where like you as a skilled person playing a video game doesn't matter because it's Henry's skills that matter, not your skills.
Yeah.
So if you don't go into a practice arena and practice sword fighting, you're always going to be awful at sword fighting, no matter how you do it. Like near the end of the game, like I could, like there's a video I posted of it. Like I go into sword fights, I parry someone, and I pummel strike them, and they die with full plate armor on.
Yeah.
Like I got so good at the sword fighting in that game, nothing could fucking touch me. But that doesn't matter when the entire game is about Henry investigating people, which is the worst part of the fucking game.
What, like, there were bits, like, especially at the beginning, I was so into the game. I was like, this game's awesome. I love it. Because, like, the landscape was amazing. Like, going into the woods. Like, I used to live in the country. I used to take my dogs for a walk in the woods. And I felt a bit homesick for the, for back in the country, for walking through the woods and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started doing things like hunting, and I was like, why the fuck would anyone want to do this side shit? Because it's just like, oh look, there's a rabbit, it's hopping. Is it gonna run away?
No,
Not really.
no,
Can I track it? Can I track it?
no.
Tracking it basically exists. But tracking is basically sit there until something fucking wanders onto you.
Yep.
I wanted to be an archer, but I didn't realize that you didn't get companions or anything.
Yep.
So archery basically consists of get the first hit in and then switch to melee.
Yep.
Because it all runs so fucking fast they can keep up with you.
Yep.
The only time I ever successfully did archery was when I stood on top of a cliff and the enemy couldn't figure out how to path up to me, so they were just standing there. Well, the worst thing about it is the tip. I read a tip to beat the guy in the mine, because he hits really hard. He's really quite strong, and I read a tip.
Wait.
On
What guy?
the forger. He's in the mine.
Yeah.
And you walk into the mines, it's guarded by some people, and then you have a fight with him, and then he surrenders, and you take him back.
Wait, you had trouble with that guy?
Well, I never really
He was
did.
an archer.
I know, yeah, I was an archer for a start.
okay.
That's where I did all my training. And I didn't do that much training or anything. I was just playing the game, And he hit really hard, so I looked up a tip on how to beat him, and the tip on how to beat him was keep running away from him and shooting him in the face with an arrow, and you can glitch him on certain objects so that he can't move. It's basically break the game to beat him.
I really wanted that game, because the fist fighting is fun as well, but they never give you any advanced skills for fist fighting, so it's like, clearly they want me to use the sword, which has the most skills, so I'll use the sword.
What I will say is I think that game would, in kind of if they made it differently, in kind of a let's say Ark kind of style of game, the multiplayer and kind of open, do what you want. I think it'd be really interesting for RP.
Sure. Just give me Mountain Blade Bannerlord and I'll be fine.
Yeah, no, Why play this when Bannerlord's coming?
I will say this about the game: it's the first game in a long time that's made me not just do the thing where what's in this chest? I'll use my one lockpick and see, and then reset the game. I can say honestly, it was super refreshing to have that happen, because I would do things like, okay, this guy I not just died in combat, but if I loot him, I'll be considered stealing from my allies. So I'm just not going to do it, because it was the first game that did that, where it made me respect people's belongings.
If you actually force yourself to play games that way all the time, they become a lot more interesting and generally a lot harder.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I did genuinely love about the game, and it's kind of it's cemented in one character, and that's Hans Capone.
Yeah.
The dickhead young.
Yeah.
I hated him to begin with, and as time went on, I was like, this guy's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. No.
And it's nice to have a deep fucking character in a game for.
The game sold me when we did the preacher mission as well. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. There were a few bumps, like the witch coven mission was fucking weird.
Yeah, but that's a side mission. I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. That one's so fucking with the lockpick, and I was running around.
Lockpicking a horse's butthole,
Yeah. I was running around for about 20 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck I was doing, and my chat was screaming at me, pick the horse's ass, and I'm like, that makes what? No, that's just
it's
trolling.
a euphemism. No, it's a euphemism for fucking having sex with an animal, which was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, and then
I don't understand
Eventually, to shut the chat up, I was like, fine, I'll lockpick the horse's ass. So I walked up the horse's ass, and it said lockpick. I was like, all right, and then I lockpicked the horse's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck made that part of the game? What's wrong with you?
It's strange. Anyway,
who hurt you?
Anything else you've been doing, man?
Yeah, I've been playing Surviving Mars. Great game. I had my tooth out.
Sweet. Did they use pliers?
There was a lot of wrenching and cracking. Like,
And it's so loud too. Like it's so loud when it's in your mouth.
it sounds like someone is crushing rocks
Oh.
in your brain.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, but I had lots of anesthetics, so I didn't feel it. It was just freaky.
Freaky deaky.
Freaky dicky.
Yeah.
Did I play anything else? I swear I played one. There was another. Oh yeah, I've been playing a lot of farm sim games for some reason.
Why?
Because people keep
Did
sending
I
me
see
farm
you
sim
playing
games.
My Time at Porsche? Is that what I saw?
Is that game
I
any
did.
good? Is that game any good?
It's actually kind of cool. I quite liked it.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and take a look at it because I've been wanting like it's. I've heard it's like Harvest Moon, but like
Yeah,
not farming based.
it's got a little bit of like an MMO feel to it, which is weird. But you're by yourself.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed it. I think I might do like a little mini series on it, but I don't know. It's not 100% my type of game.
Yeah.
I did play War Tile. I don't know if you know that one.
Yeah, I know it. I've got it. I haven't. I've been given a key for it. I haven't touched it though.
It's all right. I don't think you'll get much out of it.
That's what I saw. I saw like maybe like it's all right, like good for like maybe 4 hours, and then.
Yeah, it's visually it's fucking awesome, but they make you go over the same missions again and again, and it's the exact same mission. You know, it's just a little bit harder. It annoys me. It's good. It's good. It's like I thought it was going to be like Tabletop Simulator, but for miniature wargaming, and I was totally on board because I want that.
Like just like miniature wargaming puzzles where you have like little.
I thought it was going to be like you could collect your own armies and like customize them, paint them in like a digital format, and then you could play like miniature wargaming with other players and that kind of thing. I thought that would but I think that would be really fun. Like I still miss playing Warhammer 40,000 Warhammer on tabletop, like with the miniatures and stuff, but it's not really a thing around me, and I don't like people here anyway. So,
speaking about not liking people, Doc, how you been, man?
Good one.
I can't. Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate actually. That's probably the best segue you ever done. So good.
I don't know. I've done some pretty good ones in the past. Yeah. What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Just doing my usual thing, playing shit that no one's really interested in. Like I was playing XCOM for like a week, like the original XCOM, not
like the fucking like let's bring some recruits and see if one of them lives.
Yeah.
Let's bring 19 recruits and see if we can get a good soldier out of it.
That's one thing I never understood about the XCOM. Like, that's the
let me tell you a story.
Are the best of the best. These are the top of their field, and you recruit them, and they can't hold their fucking gun straight.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about XCOM. That original game, when I was a teenager, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna call this fuck base. Right? I'm gonna call this base fuck base. And my mom came and watched me play it for like 10 minutes, and I forgot that I called my base fuck base. I opened up and it said fuck base. And Mom's like, what is this? And I was like, oh, that's just the game, Mom.
You're the reason they're trying to ban video games.
I mean, you could have at least owned it and just be like, yeah, what?
Nah.
It's Fouche base.
It's French, Mom. Jesus. But yeah, no. Are you playing
Terror? Come from the back of your throat.
Are you playing Terror of the Deep, which I heard is like the best one?
Well, I didn't particularly like Terror from the Deep as much.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably just prefer the original one because that was the first one that I had, and I played that for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and then I got Terror from the Deep, and it's basically the same shit again, except with an underwater skin painted over it and a difficulty tweak, which, to be fair, if you're playing properly, the game isn't that difficult anyway.
Yeah, no. It's more like getting shot from the darkness was, I think, the most annoying part of that game for me. Like, you'd leave the base of the ship, and then like a slow-moving projectile would just and hit it there, and he'd spin around and fall over.
The thing is, though, you can counter that. You throw smoke outside the ramp, and then you throw electro flares off in the distance, and no more shots from the darkness. Like, everything in that game, if you lose someone, it's generally because you fucked up somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that old games are just about learning, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I went on to, like, I played the new XCOM, and I saw everyone was talking about how, oh, it's bullshit XCOM difficulty, and oh, welcome to XCOM,
What?
baby. And
It's not XCOM difficulty. It's just fucking.
I beat it on Iron Man Classic, the first attempt, and was like, yep, okay, it's like watered down XCOM. I'm done.
Well, I mean, you know, way back when, if you were bad at a game, you had to learn it to get better. Now, you just complain on Twitter, and then they change it.
Yeah, exactly. Or they don't change it, and millions of people keep buying it because they like being challenged. Dark Souls.
Yeah, oh, you say that, and then Dark Souls 3 came out. So, yeah, Graham. Hello, Graham. Hello, Graham. Hi, how you doing? Well, let me just reach over and unmute myself. And oh, hello.
Is it my turn?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Oh my god.
You guys and your entertaining lifestyles. I know. I'm sorry.
You guys being fucking friends and all, talking about your fucking lives. Jesus Christ.
What have you been playing, Graham?
Don't say you haven't, because I know you have. Crusader
We
Kings.
all saw it.
Well, nothing anymore. For like 2 days there, I played Crusader Kings 2 because it's a big strategy game, board game disguised as a video game.
Yeah.
But anywho, I've been building my pinball machine frame.
Oh, how's that going?
It's still just a bunch of wood, but I basically built a cabinet, which was a good, that was cool.
Is that one of those things where like the actual pinball part is like just like a rectangle with all the mechanics in it, and then you just slot it into like the actual machine part, like the actual stand, or like? Okay.
This one, all the electronics and all the mechanics basically attached to the underside of the lid, and you can open it and close it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anyway, it's happening.
Yeah. I mean,
How long does a pinball machine take? Like, do you have estimates on how long it takes?
No.
Just whenever it's done?
It really depends. I mean, I have a 3D printer, so I can 3D print most of the
That's handy. That's good.
most of the things that you need, and I do physics by trade, so I know all how to do the circuits and stuff. So it's just a matter of having time.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
So
do you reckon there's a market for like people making like new pinball machines in their basement and selling them to people, or like?
Not really, considering it takes 100 hours, and it's like really expensive just to make it.
There's no arcades anymore to like.
And not like it's
Maybe if you were making them to order.
Yeah, it's not like they're great enough to sell anyway. Like, no.
You might get like a Saudi Arabian prince being like, "I want a certain pinball machine."
I remember playing the Die Hard pinball machine. Can you make me a clone of that?
Fuck you. Why are you bringing up the Die Hard pinball machine again? God
Because
damn
it's the
it.
best one. Why not?
That's subjectively not true.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Twilight Zone the best.
The Twilight Zone one. I never actually like pinball machines were above me. Like I remember when my mom worked at a bar. I remember there was a pinball machine there, but that's about it. Like that's.
It's Twilight Zone, Addams Family, Black Knight 2000. That's it.
Addams Family was mine. That was my shit. I played the Addams Family pinball machine and none others.
What, I mean, why? Why? Okay, explain this to me. Why play one pinball machine over another?
Because I liked the way it looked and sounded.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. It's like, okay, this one's cool. I'm going to play this one. I don't want to play that one over there that's about whatever else. I wasn't even interested. I wanted to play the Addams Family one.
Just like a poorly designed video game like you can die for arbitrary reasons. You know how that's not fun.
Yeah.
The table has internal logic that makes sense and is challenging dexterity wise.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I never actually like pinball machines are pretty much to me just like don't fall down the hole in the middle. Like
Pinball machines have objectives.
yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
I remember the one that I played the most was like a Jurassic Park one, just because our arcade was in the movie theater, so all of theirs were movie themed, and theirs was like you would get attacked by a T-Rex, and eventually you have to avoid and capture or like knock out all the little fucking velociraptors that come out on the table, and then.
Having said that, I did play a lot of the Pokemon pinball on the Game Boy Color.
The handheld?
Yeah. That's about my experience, but that's not really a pinball machine.
I used to play Sonic Spinball on the Mega Drive. Genesis, for those of you.
See, this is my man. Like, you know, pinball machines to me are just like, it's a spin-off game. Sweet.
Yeah, it's nice that they copied, game console games with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, stop distracting me.
All right. Well, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity real quickly to talk about the new stuff that we got going on. We do have now a play-by-post game up on our Discord channel. It is a Monday through Friday update game. So it's called Fan Fiction. You can go over to the Discord. Anyone's welcome to join in and play. We have the GM turn every day, Monday through Friday, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. What else? Last night was our last episode of LA at Night, our Vampire the Masquerade game, and that VOD has just been released, so go check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. I think my bot's dead. I'm going to reset it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, before we get started, any of you guys got any expenditures? Now, I remember, Graham, you mentioned something about wanting a safe haven or something like that?
Well, it's called a refuge in the game.
Refuge, right. That's a resource, yeah.
But I don't have enough for that.
I'd be okay you guys all putting... Because it'll be...
You said that, but I'm not going to put that on everybody else.
I mean, it's up to everyone else, right? If you all wanted to chip in for a refuge, you could have that at the start of the session.
How much is it?
It's 15, and I only have 5. But I'm not going to say that it is a virtuous purchase. It was just an idea that I had. So
yeah. So basically, taking this resource, you receive a +2 bonus to all skill rolls whenever your character is inside her refuge. Conversely, the intruders suffer a -2 penalty to any skill rolls related to locating or infiltrating their secret lair. Taking this resource more than once increases the size, security, comfort, and of your character's refuge. Each additional level grants you a +2 skill bonus, and the intruders a -2. But with the Game Master's approval, characters can pull their resources together to a much larger and impressive resource.
We don't really have a home base, do we?
Well, I mean, you have the top of Eagle Rock, which is probably what was going to be turned into the refuge.
I thought we would have gone with the ruined Nazi base.
Is it ruined?
I mean, we killed everyone there, so it's not really active anymore.
Twice. We killed everyone there twice.
That's
Yeah.
on Eagle Rock, though.
That's Eagle Rock there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's under Eagle Rock.
It's not like the Rock Nest. It's like the camp that we...
The camp underneath it, yeah.
Yeah.
and which is kind of interesting because, like, I guess realistically, the way that this has been described is that they know where it is, but if you guys like take it up, you could very easily disguise it, or make sure that it's kind of interesting. The -2 penalty to protect it is kind of like an interesting. Yeah, that in itself would be like the best part about having the actual refuge, though. So it's up to you guys whether you want that or not. You can put together your resources, because there's one of you. I know one of you doesn't get, can't upgrade his character in the same way anymore. So it's up to you guys how you want to spend your XP, though. So
that's a big spend for something that we'll be leaving behind, more than likely, because I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time just hanging out. We're explorers after all.
True. It'd be nice to have somewhere to retreat back to, though.
Well, the other thing is too, I mean, you guys are amassing an army, right? Or attempting to. So one of the things you could do is you could actually have Eagle Rock serve as a base of operations for that army, in any way. And you don't necessarily have to, because this game doesn't really incorporate travel as an aspect. You could say at the end of the session, we go back to Eagle Rock, and that's that, like.
And it might be the best vantage point on the entire island or entire Earth.
It is pretty much, yeah.
If we're forming like a kind of resistance going on, it'd be nice to have a home base from. I'll put 5 in.
Yeah. All right.
Anyone else would like to do the other 5?
Well, it's 15 for the first level, so.
Well, I would assume Graham would put 5 in too.
I literally only have 2, so.
Yeah, we'll just table it for now.
All right.
Okay, so we're not getting it.
If it's going to be super useful, I'll throw in the other 5. I have 25 right now.
I have no idea if it's going to be useful or not. I literally have no basis for wanting it, as opposed to it's kind of what Solomon is after.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I think we've pulled the XP. If you're up for putting in 5 for it as well.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys turn Eagle Rock into refuge level 1. Your character has a secluded home or secret laboratory. So is there anything in particular you guys want there to be there?
British flag.
Machine gun nests.
I just want to make sure that there's a medical tent.
Yeah, no, there's a medical tent there. Like, I would say that even the laboratory portion of that description could be theoretically be a well-stocked surgery, or something. So you could, build like pace or whatever it is that you need, and you can bring it with you and shit. So, the other thing that's worth pointing out too, if you do find any like survivors and named NPCs or whatever, you could just say, hey, look, if you're looking for somewhere to take refuge from the Nazi army, go here. Right now it's unmanned, and unfortunately machine gun nests aren't really a thing right now. Actually, you know what?
I'm an inventor. I want to invent a machine gun nest.
It's not so much inventing, it's more like obtaining. And I think, Thomas, if you were to like clear out that new the new base that you came from, you would probably find what you need there to because what you have now is like Soviet era, like World War I era, like weaponry in the inside the base, because you have all that old military stuff in there too. So yeah, and you have a wrench. So yeah, was there any other expenditures you guys wanted to do?
I'd like a veranda where we can drink tea.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's comfortable, right? That's the thing. Like this place is now considered comfortable for your character. So like you have, you know, you'd have like the equivalent of like a mess tent that's yours, and you would have your own personal space, and you know, all that sort of stuff. Like consider it your home, basically.
I can imagine you probably like raided the officer's tent and took all of his luxuries and dragged them into your tent.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I'm paralyzed right now, so I probably didn't do that.
Crawl in, like army crawl with your elbows. Just like...
Oh, that's a good point. Where did we leave that? Because
my toes kind of wiggled a little bit.
That's right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right then. Any other expenditures at all?
No.
No.
Still going for my 30 for my level 2 artifact.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, last time on Hollow Earth Expedition, our team killed the rock at the top of Eagle Rock. However, it took the life of Doc's previous character, who I can't remember the name of.
Jonathan Hyde.
Jonathan Hyde. There we go. That's the one. And you guys have eggs now of this rock as well. That's worth pointing out too. I think there was 2 in total that you guys had. I remember, Graham, you wanting to do something about that as well. I don't remember what it was though. You wanted to like maybe put the wings of a baby rock on yourself or something stupid like that.
I think that may have been a joke.
Okay, yeah.
I think Drummer Boy was serious though when he said that he wanted to hatch one and like imprint on it.
Yeah, I mean the animal handling is a thing in this game. Hang on, what is that under?
I'm pretty sure Francis doesn't have animal handling.
No,
Sure none of you got.
I was kind of banking on my XP hitting like dinging to 30 by the time one of them hatched, so I could be like, "Hey, look."
Well, animal handling is 100% a charisma-based attribute.
Fuck no.
I have animal handling.
Yeah, you do.
Yep.
Yeah, all right then.
A single charisma.
If you wanted to, Sheepdog, I would give you. You could spend your XP, and this is something that I would give you for an ally.
I mean, it didn't work out brilliantly for me the last time.
Yeah, but you picked a man. This time you have the ability to take a fucking mythical creature as an ally.
I don't have.
Do you remember the old Ninja Turtles movie where he created the monsters out of the ooze, but they hatch, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be like, oh, I've got this awesome mythical beast, and it's just gonna be sitting there squawking and flapping its useless nubs.
We'll call it Big Ben.
Just saying.
It just at the top of every hour, it's like, ah! This is the last chime that you'll hear in a while, so just soak it in. Oh, that fucking meme. Okay, cool. Well, Abernathy got thrown off a mountain. Landed in.
Jumped. He jumped. He wasn't thrown.
Oh, okay, yeah. He self-sacrificed for no reason. Landed in water.
Not for no reason.
Paralyzed from the waist down.
I almost helped Hyde.
Yep. And Solomon stitched a man's arm back onto his body. Oh, wait, no, he did that a while back. Yeah. No, he did that a while back. And
he stitched someone's arm onto his body.
Yep, and Francis Jackson is still immortal. Still immortal, yep. Then we introduced Tomasz Kowalski, who is a Polish engineer brought in from a new, as new as in the new wave of the Nazi reinforcements. He was a part of the new Nazi camp, and he was an engineer responsible for experimenting with this new crystal resource that the Nazis had found in the whole Earth. He orchestrated an escape, and then he met
I
up
hit
with
a
the
dude
crew.
with a wrench and ran away. I don't think you could say that was orchestrated. It just kind of happened around
Look,
me.
you're an engineer. You're a smart man. Live up to that expectation, please. Okay.
I have to say, with Doc's avatar, his name looks to me a lot more like Thomas C. Kowalczyk.
I mean, yeah. Welcome to my problem with Poland, where the letters are English, but the sounds are different. So, like, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's no such thing as a Polish accent. Yeah, it's just bad English, basically.
It
yeah.
really is. Like I looked, I was like, yeah, okay, so can I do a Polish accent? Can I figure it out? And they're just talking kind of like slightly European English. So I was like,
Yep.
yeah, well, fuck it, I'll speak English.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we leave off. You guys are basically inside. You managed to go back to Eagle Rock, if I remember correctly, at the end of the episode. So that's where we'll
Thomas
start off.
was carrying, and
Yes.
I was unconscious, I believe.
So, what's the deal, friends? Where are we going?
I mean, we have a home here now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stay here for the rest of our days.
Yeah.
All right.
we live-
Good game. So yeah, everyone take 30,000 XP as we montage your characters off. Graham becomes a mythical creature himself.
Did we bury Hyde?
I don't know if there's much
no,
to
he's
bury.
still underneath a rock.
Find him.
Well, technically, being buried under a rock is a can.
Well,
It's very Scottish. I love it.
between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, what's the plan, people? Keep in mind that you do have knowledge of other Nazi operations, and I don't know how much. Like, it's been a while since we played, but I don't know how much of Woodbury's old flame you wanted to keep alive by him wanting to stop the Nazi invasion of Upper Earth.
I don't really care.
Yeah. Well, we got to kick him out of here.
At least you want to
So,
kick him out of
yeah.
here, okay? But yeah, so it's up to you guys what you want to do now. The world is
Just-
your oyster.
If we know that they have this like magic crystal shit, then we should probably infiltrate the base.
So we could probably start with that, actually, right? The understanding of what Tomasz knows about the crystal. High energy. They're mining it, and it has otherworldly properties that you, as an engineer, have barely scratched the surface of.
It was really tough as well. It was nearly indestructible, wasn't it? I
Yes,
think
it
that's-
was.
I
Yep.
remember-
You had a hard time cutting it. Not even diamond tip drill bits could get through it. Like, it was tough.
So how did we cut it?
Well, you had to make it cuts itself, basically, kind of like how diamonds cut diamonds.
So we had to just like I'd shatter a bunch of it until I got a sharp piece, and then use that to.
Basically,
Cut it.
yeah. Like when they started mining it, it would literally break trucks and stuff like that, and like not trucks, but like what do they call those things? Like cats and stuff like that, like powered drills and stuff. It would break everything.
Like JCB.
Yeah, stuff like that, basically. And the only way that it does have a breaking point with extreme pressure. But that's about it, really. And so you managed to create like drill bits from it, and you managed to drill that sort of stuff together. It has an incredible amount of potential for storing energy. Like, one of the things that you can do with it is you can like potential energy. Is that what they call it? So basically, you could ram into it with a truck, right? Let's say there's a wall made out of it. You could ram a truck into it like at full speed, and it would store that latent energy inside of it.
So it stores kinetic energy.
Kinetic, that's the word I was looking for. Yes, thank you. It stores kinetic energy.
Graham, please, physics.
Stored kinetic energy is potential energy.
Okay, yes. So I was right then. But yeah, it and you can use it as basically like dynamite after it's stored that kinetic energy in there.
Like after you hit it with a truck, if you hit it again, it explodes. Is that the sort of thing, or is it like
if you put enough in it?
If you run an electrical current through it, it explodes or something cool like that.
You know what? Let's go with the electrical one. But it basically becomes unstable after a certain amount of energy has been put into it, depending on the size of the actual crystal.
Explosives where it's like a couple of like brass wires and there's a bit of crystal in it and a little like an arcing electrode over the top, and if you push the button it arcs and zaps it and the whole thing pops.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the engineer. If that's the way that you want to assume that you guys did the experiments, we can go with that, right? So, and the other thing is, I don't know how much actual snooping you did, but they do have other R&D facilities that they were using the crystals in. Like the potential engineering aspects was your realm, but there are like more extreme types of experiments going on with this stuff.
I can imagine he would know like the people that were working there, maybe if there were other scientists and that, they'd probably have conversations, but he would never have been, I think they would have been very secure, like, no, this is your area, you stay out of this one. Because
well, let's actually explore that a little bit, because I do like the idea that, you know, in my eyes, in a pulp setting, scientists are very egotistical, right? They're very like willing to elaborate on their findings, and they're very proud of their findings, and you know, like I don't see them being secretive in a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, I would have spoken with the scientists and got what they wanted to tell me.
Yeah,
I'd know that, but I wouldn't have actually been.
Do you have any sort of let's just put this to a roll right now, so we can at least get an understanding. Do you have any social skills whatsoever in your character?
No.
Really, you
have a charisma. I have a charisma of 1.
Okay. Let's take a look at your character. Because I refuse to believe you took 0. Yeah, you took 0. I should have known. All right. Well, why don't you roll your dump stat for me? And we can go from there. The difficulty. Okay, well, you got 0 success anyway. Yeah, so
I like a 2 and a 1. I don't think it matters.
I like the idea that there is a scene of Tomash before he, like maybe as you're explaining where you found this information from, you know, a lot of it comes from your own findings, but specifically we get a flashback of you in this camp, talking to like a scientist and stuff like that, and you know, let's say that he's been brought into HR before about sharing too much. So you trying to sate your own curiosity about the substance, and him, you know, being chastised about sharing too much, you weren't able to get anything out of him, basically. But you do know that there is like extreme scientific works going on outside of the engineering potential for this mineral.
Would I have an idea of the type of scientists, like biologists and
everything? Like you,
so everyone is working on this one.
Yep.
Mystery.
Yep. Basically, you and a couple other people were working in the engineering potentials, but there is everyone else as well. Like we're talking biological engineering. We're talking like high level scientist stuff. There's even like occult people in there working with the materials and stuff. Like basically anything under the sun you can imagine, there are people in there experimenting with it, which is why there's so many camps, because it's almost like a plentiful resource after you dig down, and that's the other thing. Like there are like just caverns of this shit in the earth.
That was going to be another question: was where exactly were they mining it from? But if it's just everywhere, it's
yeah. They basically brought in a device which like kind of, I don't know how deep the technology goes, but I want to say that it's some sort of like they can like echolocation find the vibrations of the earth, and basically like they just find like giant pockets of caverns of this crystal and stuff. Yeah, like sonar. Yeah. I'm not sure how far along the technology is at this point, but I'm just gonna say that they have like sonar location sort of thing, kind of like looking into.
It turns out that the crystals actually vibrate at a very specific frequency, and if you use the crystals and you hit it really hard so it starts vibrating, and you put it on the ground, it creates vibrations in the ground, and the crystals in the ground resonate, and they use that to track it.
Okay, sure. That sounds like enough science mumbo jumbo for me. That's perfect. But yeah, like. There are just pockets everywhere, which is why there's all these other camps in random locations. Like Eagle Rock was a scouting camp, right? And everything else is like, pocket locations of these crystals. So that's what you share with everyone, I guess.
Okay. Well, as we know that Eagle Rock doesn't have the crystals there. Well, probably doesn't.
Well, I mean, you know from what there was at the camp, which was to say, scouting reports and that sort of stuff. So, it's also worth pointing out. Eventually, the Nazis are probably going to be like, "How come we haven't heard anything from the scout camp up there?"
That's the other thing I was going to say is that eventually the Nazis are going to try to take this camp back.
So that's how Pepsi Crystal was found, exactly. Yeah, so eventually they are going to like inquire. Like right now, you've been doing a pretty good. Oh, flares go up. Let's put another flare up, sort of thing, right? You've been pretty good at that, and I want to say you can even make it so that there's some sort of device that set up a timer that you could have it automatically send a flare up. But that still doesn't excuse the non-reporting aspect of this place, right? So, anyway, what's the deal? What's happening, fellas?
Well, the first thing we should probably do is start disrupting their supply lines. We should observe them and make sure that we know where their supplies are running, and then we should hit them.
Interesting.
We should probably start recruiting anyone we can to join our side. And as we get stronger, we can start raiding their bases.
Maybe you should work on walking first.
Well, that you say that, right? It's been a couple of hours. You have,
I can almost move my legs.
Yeah.
Look.
Thomas, that's kind of like astounding to you. This man was 100% paralyzed. I mean, you're not a doctor or nothing, but like, that's unique.
Maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked. He looked pretty bad. There were bits hanging out, but he seems to be recovering well.
I'm perfectly fine.
It's the that British fighting spirit that I've heard so much about, but haven't seen yet because they left.
You only just met me. What are you talking about?
I love that. It's like, we've heard about the Brits. We've heard about the Brits.
See how fast that burn heals. Whoa.
Yeah.
There was an orange flare that went off last time, right? They were usually green, but
That's
there was
right.
an orange.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Would Famas know about the signals? Like, would he? Like, we at this up to this point, we've kind of just guessed that green means everything is good, orange is bad, red is really bad.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So if you remember correctly, that's the only reason you were able to escape, because all the troops in your base were called off somewhere. Or most of the troops, at least, anyway.
Okay, so I'm just wanting to establish that it's less likely we're going to accidentally send up the wrong flare and everyone's going to come running to us.
That's a good point. I mean, if you wanted to lure them all into like a fucking like giant hole with T-Rexes in it, that's a good way of doing it, I guess. I don't know.
I vote.
T-Rex hole? Yeah, nice. Okay.
I mean, that's a...
We could lure them into an extra dimensional portal.
Send them all back home. Bye. Yeah. So that's an interesting idea, but no, you don't know too much about the flares. As I said, you know, you had a curiosity for this crystal, right? And I would say that you spent a lot of your time doing that. And your attempts of escape were the other thing that were clouding your mind as well. But we can definitely do flashbacks if you want of you trying to learn all this stuff.
I was wondering if I managed to, because I know that they were really careful with this crystal material. Did I manage to steal any of it?
I mean, you definitely had access, so...
And if I was making tools out of it and things like that, maybe a few shards could have gone, depending on how careful they were.
All right. So the thing is, it's less about so the way that I imagine it, right? You were a problem engineer, right? You weren't someone that was allied with the Nazi regime in any way. You were a prisoner of war who was skilled and brought along, right? That is your sort of backstory. So I'm going to say specifically that you had limited access to this resource, and you had times of day where you were working on it and you were watched during that period. But other than that, can you think of any way that you would acquire this stuff during those periods?
Other than having a tool made of it of some type?
So you don't have any particular skills for stealing or skullduggery or anything like that? No. Looking at your skill set, you have science, engineering, craft mechanics, melee, and athletics. So the only potential way that I see you doing something like this is like engineering some sort of like pocket or something like that, or some sort of like, you know what I mean? Like something that would allow you to smuggle things per se. Like that's the only thing that I can think of that would allow you to.
Yeah,
do
I don't think he would go to that extent to steal a piece of it. I think getting out was more important, and it was kind of a thing of if he had access to it when he was leaving, he probably would have taken a piece. But
no, you wouldn't have had access. If part of your backstory was that you were a part of the Nazi regime, sure, but you weren't. So yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to get some other way.
I mean, it's a natural resource here, right? So simply walking into a camp and taking some would be all that's required.
Perhaps we should do that then.
Mm.
Well, you got a couple options, so...
What we could do is we could take a flare off, set it up somewhere to go off on a timer. Let the flare up.
I would say as part of your refuge, you would have that, because the refuge is.
We don't want to. We don't. Want to
I think he's luring them somewhere that's not where we're living now.
We want to. We would want to lure them away from where they are and from where we are. So we'd set it off somewhere in the jungle. Is that where we are?
I mean, if you remember, Eagle Rock is it's a mountain with a much higher peak. You're in like a plateau.
But I mean, like,
and the base of the mountain is surrounded by jungle, and then outside that jungle is plains.
Well, we'll set it off somewhere in the jungle, and then when they go to see it, we can do a quick raid and see what we can scavenge. It's a good start as any for any type of resistance.
Yeah, I mean, plus you do need to. It would definitely, like, if you did something like that, theoretically, you could find information about their supply routes or anything like that. Because you did mention you wanted to hit those as well, right? But instead of like, because I don't see Charles, since Charles is pretty much the only one with military backing in this group now, I don't see him having the mental fortitude of scouting out places for weeks on end to work out where they're.
Well, I actually I trained the guerrillas and fought with them in the Spanish Civil War.
Training is one thing, but doing it yourself is another, right?
Well, I fought with them.
I was in the Turkish.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Do you suspect any one of you would sit for weeks on end trying to scout Nazi supply lines?
Charles was in World War One, and a lot of World War One was sitting and watching until you're told to attack. Mm-hmm. So, he is in many situations a bit of a bumbling idiot. When it comes to military operations, he's well versed.
He's a what do they call it?
Actually, vaguely
savant. Yeah, you're a savant. The military operation. Oh, okay. I like it. All right then. Well, let's get a plan of operation going then. How do you guys want to tackle this problem?
Well,
lure them away from the nearest camp, sneak into the nearest camp, steal plans.
That's a very hot fuzz scene, where it's like, so what should we do? Yeah, what he said.
Yep.
All right then. Okay. Well, you definitely have the tools and the capacity to do something of the sort. So do you guys want to see and wait for the dudes to, like, did you want to see the troop movements before you made any sort of idea on how things going, or?
Well, we should probably pick which camp. We probably shouldn't go for the large central camp. We should probably most likely aim for one of the.
So there's one behind you and there's 3 in front of you, if you remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was in front of us is like the big kind of central one, isn't it?
Yeah, the big central one. Yeah.
I think we try to lure like individuals or small squads.
Well, we're not going after the troops right now. We're going after the supplies.
Okay.
So you actually want to try and take as many people out of the camp as possible, and then take from the camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of you guys know how to operate vehicles? Like, do you have any driving skills or anything like that?
Woodbury used to do all the driving.
Okay.
What's driving in there?
Pretty sure his character sheet specifically had driving on it, and mine doesn't. Yeah, it does. Awesome.
What skill is driving?
So I'm assuming that means we're all capable of driving, just nothing special. Is that how this system works?
Yeah, that's the way I always do drive. Drive is dexterity.
Okay.
So, I see the skill of driving, like, under pressure driving, right? Like, life-threatening driving, like escaping fire or, like, being in a car chase, sort of, right?
Well, I'm sure our Czechoslovakian friend here has been driving for the Germans.
No, they took away the wheels of all the cars.
Why?
We were allowed to keep the cars, just not the wheels.
So you weren't allowed to drive?
No. We were barely allowed to walk.
How barbaric.
See, that's weird. In our army, we had just wheels.
Yeah, they kept the cars for themselves.
Now I know where all the cars went.
Well, in my army, they used to take all the spark plugs out of the engines.
We
It's
just
a
kind of had canoes, eh?
Yeah.
But so what's the plan? Are we like, what are we using as a distraction, and who's going into the main camp?
Well, we would because we've been setting off these flares on a timer. So
Yeah.
we take one of these flares, set it up on a timer to fire probably orange. Red would probably be a bit too. They'd be too on guard if red went up.
Brazen.
And then we would be on site at one of the smaller outposts to they're obviously going to leave some people there, and then we can raid it, kill who we need to, and take the supplies we need, and then we can work.
What if we use that boat and
What
we
boat?
trap it? Remember the half a boat that's sitting on a cliffside? What if we set the flares off to go there
Mm.
and trap it, so when they come to investigate why are these flares going off and they come in, the boat explodes, killing a bunch of them.
Oh, the boat just tips off the edge of the cliff it was sitting on.
That's
Pretty
true.
much.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't precariously dangling, but you could rig it definitely to.
Well,
to
and
fucking
plus
do
there's
that.
all those angry, hungry chappies who are hanging around there. I think we killed
I think
most
that's
of them.
what they're called.
There's
Mm.
probably some of them left somewhere. They might
Hungry chappies.
Mhm.
Yeah. If somebody sneak in, set up a flare, see what happens. Well,
We can also leave all the dead Nazi bodies that are from here at the boat.
Yeah, that's
So
not
at
a
least-
bad.
and-
So at
and
least it looks right.
Oh, and that would explain why. Well, they would wonder why they'd still be getting flares from here, though. That would.
The other thing that's worth pointing out too is you guys putting out this automatic flare sender would raise suspicions unless all of those people that went there died. I'm just going to point that out for you guys in case you hadn't thought about that.
Well, I
that's
mean,
what I was
I
thinking.
think
If
it's-
we use something and blow it up, even like
Well,
if
I
we,
mean,
that's why the boat was the idea. Because if the flare thing is on the boat and then the boat explodes, there's not going to be any evidence that it was rigged to go off by itself. It's just going to be a big smoking hole.
yeah, I know. Well, but the thing is once they find one of their camps raided and their chaps killed, that's going to be the most suspicious thing. And like after that, that's when we start really risking stuff, and we'll have to kind of step up our action.
Okay, what if I'm assuming that by this point I've probably taken stock of what we have.
Hmm.
I'm assuming I found a bunch of old Amazon bows and arrows.
Yep, there's also some very early war weaponry here. Like, your grandfather fought in this war, and he talked about, like, and that's just, like, we're talking, like, first issue Lugers and that sort of shit in here, too.
Now have the
Um,
Webley.
Like, this is the sort of stuff
Actually,
these people
hide
are...
that Webley.
Oh, yes, you do have my Webley.
Well, the Rock has the Webley now.
Wait,
yeah.
what? What does
Yeah.
the Rock have my bloody Webley?
Because you gave it to hide to put the blood bullets in.
Oh, bugger.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, the blood bullets. Yeah.
Well,
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. That's it. But yeah, so that's what you see in this camp, which is very surprising, considering the camp you're in was a lot more modern.
Camp Urine?
Camp you're in.
It's so childish.
Camp Urine.
Can that be our camp
one of
name?
Henley's XCOM bases.
I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's a personal hit right here. But yeah, so what are you looking for specifically?
Well, I was thinking if we were to do this thing where we lure them away and then raid the camp while they're gone, we can make it look like they were raided by savages, so they're less likely to be like, I wonder which armed military force is fighting against us. They'll be like, oh, those damn savages are playing up again.
Except for the fact that most of these dudes have died from bullet perforation. Sure.
I'm kind of looking for. I don't know. Do you care about that? I mean, I'm kind of on the lookout for weird stuff.
Well, there'll probably be weird stuff in the camps. You're right there. You're right there, old boy.
Pinball
Did you drop
What?
something?
Who?
Was that a scalpel?
Hell of a sneeze, damn.
My keyboard that I was trying to balance on my fingers.
I just love your fucking like Disney prince.
He went for it, then gave up and just said, "Fuck it, whatever. It's gone. It's done. It happened."
Go on.
So what's the plan? You guys, we can set this up. You can make it look like they were ambushed by savages. That's
I'm going to be entirely honest.
Please do.
I don't know what the plan is, and I don't know why strictly we're doing this.
Well,
the idea is that you want to get access to this camp and get all these new crystals and shit, right?
Oh yeah, Chris, weird stuff. Yeah, got it.
well, I mean, so the plan of action, broadly speaking, the campaign would be the resistance to German incursion into this place, wherever we are. And the first thing you need to do is gather supplies, start raiding supply lines. I mean, you're a military man, for God's sake. You know these things.
I get that.
If that doesn't interest you, maybe these crystals do.
They do, but why are we doing that? Can't we like threaten or cajole some other group to do that for us?
But who?
I don't know, savages.
I mean, they're not going to be any bloody. Like we could maybe stop recruiting them if you'd like to handle that. But honestly, I find them to be rather savage.
I'm worried about dying. Let's just be frank.
Me too.
No one's gonna die. It's a pulp game.
But like the
Yeah,
Amazons didn't particularly care about the Nazis when we tried to warn them. So it doesn't seem like anyone here is worried because they're like, whatever. We're the only people who care.
Why are we worried?
I mean, I don't want to get captured by the Nazis again.
Well, let's just point this out. You guys know that they have literally almost 100% taken over the surface world.
So let's join the winning team.
Just join the Nazis.
No,
No good.
no. That would probably result in a fight with Tomaz. He doesn't want to go back. He's not going back. He's literally like, I will die before going back.
I don't think they would be very forgiving to Solomon either, given that
Yeah, I think Solomon would have the hardest time out of everyone. Followed.
Let's go. Those Atlantean people, they had stuff.
They were kind of bloody useless.
To lose.
What weren't they kind of bloody useless? Is that just me, or they were fairly bloody useless?
They were immortal.
they just wanted to die, pretty much.
It sounds bloody useless to me.
That's the worst kind of immortal, though.
I don't.
Were they vampires? Was that just me, or were they vampires?
I mean, your experience with vampires would be Dracula at best.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, someone said there was no sun here, so maybe this is where the vampires went after the sun. Like, did they get driven underground because they were immortal?
He's technically right. It's not actually the sun.
Is Francis now a vamp? Did he get bitten? Is he a vampire now? Should we be worried? You're not allowed by blood. I'm just gonna have you know that right now.
My blood's poisoned.
Oh, when did that happen?
It's a long story.
Oh, okay.
All right, fellas, come on.
Am I just?
Let's just pull out a little bit outside of character. Make a fucking decision so we can get a move on.
I've said what
I want to do the setup and then let's infiltrate a fucking camp.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. Graham?
Let's blow some shit up and steal some crystals so that I can make bigger bombs.
Graham?
Yes, Dave.
You're the last person to decide. You in or you out?
I guess I'm in. I
Like, what does Solomon want?
that's not y'all's fault, but I don't really know.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll find something in the kit. Come on, we're going to Raiden.
All right.
For weird stuff, I don't want to be in harm's way at any point in that search.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with you know, like so. Here's the reality. Like, if you were to leave the Nazi forces unabated, they would eventually like take what they want.
Okay, but why is doesn't seem like anybody else up on the surface. I mean, it sounds if us four are the last bastion of hope for humanity, I don't.
So
Solomon-
on the surface, specifically, from what you've been told, the forces were undying. Basically, for whatever reason, they would win a battle, and then a couple hours later, those same wounded soldiers would come back into the battle. It was a war of attrition, and basically the Nazi army had an undying force, basically.
I
And
understand, but that didn't answer my question,
okay, what was the question?
or it didn't answer my. I mean, there's only four of us.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
They have, as far as supplies go, they have all the world's resources.
To a degree.
Most of the world's resources. I'm sure there's some pockets of people holding out.
Yeah. There's also that weird. So what you have on your side, theoretically, and I'm sure anyone with an intelligence score over 2 worked this out, but there's a time dilation weirdness between what's going on in here and what's going on in there. So they send crystals out or whatever they're doing, and something's happening on the surface that's giving them the win, right? If you were to, like, if they were to send reinforcements now back into here, you guys might have some problems. But right now, they're not too far technologically advanced ahead of you.
It would take them some time to send them as well, because they wouldn't notice for a while, would they? That the
No, pretty much. Like that's the other thing. Like there's some time fuckery going on here. So also it's I understand that the predicament that you guys are in, where like why do we care about the surface?
Well, we don't have to.
Exactly.
They're
Right.
here now. We can deal with these ones first,
Yeah. So
and then depending on how well that goes, maybe we can think about nuking the surface.
I like it.
yeah. So one of the things that it hasn't been discussed yet is how they're coming and going from this place, and that's something you guys don't know.
Yeah, that's something like we need to figure out immediate stuff. But I still want to contact the Terra Arcanum and figure out if there's anyone here,
Mhm.
or like how they're getting in, how they're getting out, how we can lock them in or lock them out.
So the Terra Arcanum is 100% a surface world initiative to stop Hollow Earth leaking into the surface world. And obviously, by the sounds of it, they've failed.
Yep.
But you would need to have a message or be on the surface for that to happen, specifically.
So we need to figure out where they're coming in. At least that's the eventual, like, maybe if there's a session or next session be like, they're coming in from here, we need to go here, and either like shut them. We need to shut this place. We either need to like have some of us in or out or whatever.
Tomas arrived here relatively recently.
Through like,
How did I arrive? I'm assuming it might have been something like bundled up into a truck and just driven through a tunnel.
Well, you're a POW, so bag over the head,
Yeah.
hands tied,
so you would
taken from
know
one
directly.
camp, and then you were given your senses back in this place, I guess, theoretically. You remember feeling cold and then feeling really, really sweaty. And that's about it. Like
So what it sounds like is all the information we want is going to have to come from one of their camps, is what we're trying to do.
Well, I mean, we had one of their camps, and there was not any information on that, strictly speaking.
Didn't I execute all the people who could have given us information?
Yeah, because you thought they were immortal. That was my fault.
All right. Well, let's go to this let's go to this next camp. See what's there. See what information's there. See if there's any breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And
This is also like potentially like decades of different people. Like they've had decades of technological innovation that the people that we face didn't have yet.
Yep. So we're going with the. How do you want to booby trap the ship? Is that what you want to do? You want to try and kill these people?
Well, that's what I was thinking, because I know we said that there were like barrels of gunpowder there for the cannons and everything.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There's probably, I'm going to assume we had some grenades in the military camp stockpile that we found.
It's a refuge. You guys have like the supplies necessary to do whatever it is that you need to do.
Yeah, so I mean, it probably wouldn't be too hard for me to just rig up a simple tripwire, like the doors on the ship. Right?
Sure.
So
I mean, the tripwire is not the problem. The explosion is the problem, right?
We pile a bunch of bodies up and everything, and have the door very clearly shut, rigged to some grenades with a bunch of barrels of dynamite sitting around the grenades, all just ready to. When they open the door, the pins get pulled, everything blows up, the whole thing goes.
Okay.
Well, what about if we have a couple of plant a couple of dead bodies at the entrance to the ship, and then we can't dead man trap the bodies with those grenades, can we? Never mind. I was thinking like put
like a landmine underneath them or something, and when they move them,
like dead man trap them. But if we've got German grenades, then
yeah.
I mean, I could probably rig something up along that lines.
I mean, he's an engineer, and you can use this home base to build whatever it is that you need to build and take it with you. So,
yeah, okay.
I mean, a spring, a bit of metal, some string, and I can make you a jet ski.
MacGyver, I like it. Okay, so
what's jet ski?
Let's get a craft.
It's a Polish word.
Mechanics from you real quick with a. I assume you're going to build this here in the base before you leave, so you get your +2. So go ahead with a difficulty of, I don't know, 7. That's not a specialty, is it? It's just normal.
Yes. So 4 successes.
4 successes. Yeah. You build what you need to build. It's a simple process of you guys going down there, booby trapping a thing. Now, you bring your automatic flare sending device out. Give me an idea on the timing that you set. It takes about a day and a half, maybe 2 days to go down to the beach where this thing is, right? So give me an idea on the timing, because it's going to take you about 2 days to walk back. Keep in mind that you do know these guys had jeeps. So how do you want to handle the timing of this?
Okay. Have we seen any other flares going off, just to get a distance of how far the camp is?
They send out flares, as I said, about every day, once a day, sort of thing.
But the orange and red flares would be a panic thing, so they can go off whenever, right?
Yeah, I'm talking mostly about
I was thinking of just a way to judge the distance so that we can set this stuff up and have plenty of time to get close to the camp before the flare goes off.
Yeah, so remember, you have to set this thing to remotely, on a timer, go off, right? So do you set a timer for 3 days from when you set it so that you can walk back and have a day to prepare? Or how do you do that?
We should target the... should we target the base furthest away from the flare?
Well, you don't know which base is going to react, right? That's the problem.
Last
I would
time-
say the one closest
It'll
because
probably
that's
be the closest.
If
but
it's
that
the
is-
boat, right? If it's the boat specifically, imagine it like there's the Eagle Rock, there's the Nazi base, and the boat is like perpendicular over here, right? So either the scout base, Eagle Rock, or the main camp would be the ones that are affected.
Yeah. Well, last time like the orange flare was like way the fuck on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
away from us, and the camp in front of us sent jeeps.
Yeah.
So like, to Francis, that would mean like, oh, this is the place where they send out from, because we didn't see anywhere else sending from, right?
Well, I mean, you can't see the other camps. You know that they exist.
We had
because of-
binoculars though.
Yeah, but you know they exist simply because flares go out. Remember, they have the cover of
Yeah.
canopy,
Yeah.
basically.
I guess the point I'm getting to is like, it was a long ass time over on like way out of the way of this camp, and this camp sent someone.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume that would mean like, if we set it off at the boat, this camp, the camp in front of us, the big one, would
That's a good assumption. Yeah.
send
Well-
people so we can get in there.
Most likely, they will always send people out because the main. But I would imagine it's kind of like a call to arms kind of thing. So all the bases that can will send troops out, and the big one is much more likely to be better defended. Whereas hitting one of the smaller ones incurs less risk to us with maximum gain.
Well, Tomash also knows the camp in front of us the best because that's the one he came from, right?
there is also one less guard in that camp.
Sure. But they are aware of a prisoner breaking out at that point too.
Mm.
I don't know. I think militarily it makes more sense to hit a smaller base, but
Well,
If you
I'm
chop-
telling you right now, if you're setting up at this boat, the main camp is going to be the one that responds, probably.
Yeah, it's better the devil we know than the devil we don't. We'll go into the
I
main camp that
do
we
know
have
that-
an ally.
A stockpile of crystal in that camp, so they do have it there.
Mr. Solomon, as an experienced military man, how do you feel about attacking the main base?
Again, I'm going to say the same thing I said last time we had this conversation, 5 minutes ago. Are we attacking the main base?
We're sneaking in when their forces are preoccupied.
Right. Then
Wait, we're sneaking in?
Yeah, we're
Well,
not
I mean,
we're not gung hoing.
Last time they sent guys out, like almost everybody left the camp except for the scientists, right? And like the guards.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not really one for sneaking.
I'm
Seems a
not
bit
really for attacking.
seems a bit cowardly, but
I mean, technically, if they're dead, they can't see you. So
yeah.
So you can attack and we'll sneak. How about that? You be the hero, we'll be the cowards.
I mean, in my experience, this has been since we lost Hyde. That's pretty much how things have been going.
Yeah, they have been. Let's keep it that way.
It's working out.
Well, if you chaps want to sneak in, I guess I can stand by for action, but I don't see what use I'd be on a. I mean, I'm a spy. I have no business sneaking anywhere.
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay. All right.
All right, so I guess we are going to the main base then. So what? 2 days to get there, and then 1 day to set up.
Yeah. So you want to set the timer for 3 days?
Mhm.
Okay.
Tamaji, if you would.
He would introduce himself as Tomash, which would
Tamoosh.
Tomash.
and I'm imagining that Charles would get it wrong every time. I'm speaking perfect English and
tomato.
knows the name
Tomato.
perfectly well, but he just
Tomato.
doesn't pay it.
I like Tamaji.
Tamaji. Yeah. Tamaji, can you set it up, please?
You think you're being like culturally sensitive by like getting his name right? I love that.
Tomas, just say Tomas.
Yeah.
Tamash.
There you go. It's
Tomash.
like bangers and mash, but with tomatoes.
Tamagotchi.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah. So you guys go down. I'm gonna need who's gonna be planting the bomb.
Tomaji.
Yep. Tomas.
All right. Okay. Do you have? Let's take a look here.
Ask a seemingly non critical question.
Absolutely, Graham. What would you like to know?
Are there any wildflowers that grow around the camp?
There can be, absolutely. It's dense forest, so yeah.
All right, I'm gonna find a cup or a container or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pack it full of wildflowers.
Do you want like a sealed container, like a Tupperware?
Like a vase.
Like a vase? Do you want them to be like planted and growing, or do you just want them filled with like the actual flower?
Yeah, I just want the flowers in there.
Okay.
Like a priceless
Sure.
ming.
Yeah, sure. How many, like, do you want like what? Like a vase that's like a kilo worth of room? Are we talking like one of those big ones, or?
Well, I want it to be like this big.
Oh, just like a like a
you can
pot
say you want a
plant.
bomb. It's fine.
Like a pot plant, then. Okay,
Like
yeah,
a-
sure. Yeah. Consider what type of can I get an idea of what you want to make out of it, so I know what type of flowers to put around the base of this thing?
I'm not looking for looks or visuals. I'm looking for scents.
Scents. Okay, so you're looking for something that's can you say that again?
Strong smells.
Strong smells. Okay, yeah, sure. Like I would assume like something like sweet, sickly. Like what are you after?
Sweet.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, like some sort of like honey type plant, like some sort of like maybe a lot of the animals come here and like eat the plant or like the nectar or something. Like maybe there's some sort of form of jungle bee down here, you know,
Oh.
that
Yeah.
feeds on this. So yeah, you've got like
Size of dogs.
it's
Okay.
probably more like you know what a horsefly is? It's probably like 2 times the size of that.
So
Like a
So after-
rhino beetle sized thing.
gross.
Yeah.
So after Solomon got sort of frustrated in the last conversation, you guys saw him just like start walking around the camp, and then all of a sudden he's starting to like pick flowers and put them in a cup.
I like the idea that you've got like some sort of like smoker device to get rid of these like giant rhino bug sized bees. Just like trying to like, you know, not get stung by these fucking things. Actually, I would say these are the non-stinging varieties because I recently learned there's like 200,000 varieties of bees, which is like fucking bonkers. So yeah, like I would say that these are not the type that would sting you, but
I'm not sure that's a risk I would be willing to take.
yeah.
They have smiling faces.
Yep. Do you like jazz?
I give one a high five.
Yeah. Like these are the type of things that you would need like a tennis racket to deal with, you know? Like these are like bat size, not really, but yeah.
Not too worried about it.
Yeah. So yeah, you collect what you need to collect. So the thing about having this, now that you've spent XP on this base, anything that you guys theoretically want in the base, if it's not like I want like if you say I want natural spring water, there can be spring water here, you know. If you want there to be like some sort of like hot, like, you know, hot stones or something like that in the cave, like anything you guys want to like to make things or to make narrative a little easier for you, you can have theoretically. All right, so I'm gonna need a demolitions roll from someone to plant these demolitions, which is an intelligence-based skill if no one has it.
I don't have that.
I don't have demolitions, but I don't know if could I use like my science engineering? Would that work? Like,
Nope,
I don't need
this
to
is
make it.
specifically demolitions. You're setting a bomb. I don't know how much more. Like you can't bullshit that one.
Well, I'm not trying to demolish the boat. I'm just trying to make the biggest explosion possible.
Demolitions.
chemistry.
I feel like you're really underestimating scientists here. They all blow things up at some point.
Yes, but your intent is to take human life. So, demolitions.
I have bureaucracy.
I mean, that would make sense. We're waiting like multiple days for something to happen. Bureaucracy.
Oh, God. Okay, I'll accept help.
Use that skill.
I'll accept help from your science skill there, Graham. So if you want to roll that up with the difficulty 7, please. Cool. Chemistry. Yep. You definitely help. With 5 successes, I would say that you get 2 extra dice on this roll. Whoever's setting it. It can't be Solomon though. So.
I mean, I'm assuming it'd be me because I was building the bombs and everything, and everyone's gonna be like, "He knows what he's doing. He built the bombs."
All right.
If I roll on intelligence, I roll 0 dice.
So what it would be intelligence -2 plus 2, so it's just going to be straight intelligence roll, Tomasz. If you want to do this, difficulty 7.
No, because doesn't the straight intelligence roll automatically take 2 off?
Does it?
I think so.
No. It times it by 2.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. 2 successes. All right, that's good enough. It's not an amazing roll, but you suffice. I mean, you have that's the thing. Intelligence in this game is like, I have a rudimentary understanding of everything, but I'm not specialized in setting bombs to kill people with the intent.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not trying to like control demolition this boat. I'm just trying to make it explode in as brilliant a manner as possible.
I just wanted to roll to see if I can give it, but it didn't count.
Oh, did you get the +2? That would have been 4, right?
No. The fact that he rolled intelligence.
Oh, right, just negates the penalty.
Negates the penalty, basically. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so bomb is set. Timer on the flare is good. You guys make it back to. What do you spend that last day doing preparing? Like, give me an idea of what that looks like exactly.
Anything to help with stealth. So, like, face paint.
Do we get a montage scene?
I'm sorry.
Everyone's like strapping their knuckles and
Yeah, the montage scene is just like everyone's just like putting on like black gear because I assume. Oh, I was going to say you do it at nighttime, but that doesn't make fucking sense. Yeah, you set your camouflage, all that sort of stuff. We get like a montage of like Abernathy just like.
I'm shining some buttons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break out the mortar and pestle and crush up these flowers.
Yeah, go for it. Mm-hmm.
And I put them in a little leather sack.
Yeah.
I wear it around my neck.
Interesting. Is this to disguise your own scent from animals?
No.
You're just making some sort of weird cocaine drug for yourself?
It's called a sachet.
Okay. What's
just so the air around me is pleasant to breathe.
Interesting. I'll keep that in mind if I ever drop some, Agent Orange on you for whatever reason. So,
it won't help, but it'll smell nicer as your.
Oh, my skin is burning. Lavender. Yeah. Okay. So the flag goes off. You guys have everything you need to make stealth rolls. You guys are sitting at a safe distance, spying on the camp with your knocks. There's a bit of confusion. Another flare goes off, a yellow flare from this camp. And soldiers start preparing to move out. They move. They get in their jeeps and they drive off. There is a contingent force left here, though, so there is going to be something to do. But how would you like to sneak in? Keep in mind there are like manned entrances with towers. and the walls here are fortified palisades, basically. And you can see construction to make them permanent. So they got like wooden palisades, and then they've got like concrete being erected outside of the palisades. But that construction is far from complete. But they are making efforts to make this a permanent base. So, give me an idea. What do you guys do? Now, you do have... Here's the other thing that you do have access to. You do have access to Nazi uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is something you guys wanted to try and hide in plain sight sort of thing, or whether you wanted to sneak in as an actual stealth maneuver. It's up to you guys how you want to handle it. You have access to all that shit, so...
I'm not sure that's gonna fly.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, as
I mean, Graham, you've got one white arm. I mean, you could cover the rest of your body and very easily pretend to be a white man.
Well,
Hello, fellow Nazis.
The last time, the only reason that worked is because we had a hold person spell and Mega Man over there with the cannon arm.
Yep.
That's the only reason that worked last time, so I don't have faith in it this time.
I mean, that would be a way to get us inside the camp, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always just take me prisoner. You know,
Captive Wookiee. It always works.
Captive Wookiee, yeah. This man had the goal to take one of our Nazi soldiers' arms and put it onto his own.
I feel like Charles should wait here and join in and charge in once something goes wrong.
Okay. Is there? Can we work out what the what that would look like? What is the oh shit, we need Charles button? What does that look like?
Probably a lot of sighing.
Tally ho!
Yeah.
Screaming out tally ho. All right, done. Easy. All right then. So let's get So the way this is going to work, let's get a group roll. And when I say group roll, there's going to be a leader, and everyone else has to make that same roll. And whether you pass or fail on the stealth, will give him either a modifier or a negative. Give him a positive or negative modifier, basically. So who wants to lead the stealth roll?
What's stealth based on?
Dexterity, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a dex of 3.
So do I.
So do I.
I have a dex of 1, but I'm not coming, so it's fine.
So not Charles.
Okay, so you'd be... does anyone have stealth as a skill?
Nope.
No.
Does anyone wish to purchase stealth as a skill?
I miss hide.
Yeah.
This is where Hyde would be like, hey, I can do that. That's like one of the things
I did give you the option to not die, and you took the martyrism.
No, I said I miss hide.
Yeah.
The three of us are ill-equipped for this.
Yeah.
I said we should bloody attack. Fucker it.
Well, we should try to stealth first, because who knows, it might fucking work.
I mean, I would have been happy setting up a mortar site and having our artilleryman bomb the place to shit while the rest of the troops are gone. But that's just me.
Yeah.
The Master isn't about sneaking in. He's about blowing things up.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like, you could theoretically, if you wanted to, mimic an attack on the base from one side and sneak in from the other.
I take zero responsibility for this plan.
Not my bloody plan.
Not my plan.
This is the bloody librarians, baby.
I guess I'm leading. Let's do it.
All right, then. We got a leader. All right. So, everyone roll dexterity -2, difficulty 8 for me, please. Except for Drummer Boy and Sheepy. Okay, so we got 1 positive modifier. We got 2 positive modifiers. All right, so Drummer Boy, yours is dexterity straight.
Yep. Plus
No pluses, just dexterity straight. You don't have the skill, so you don't get the -2, but you got a +2, which removes the negative. So just straight.
Okay. Difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8.
2.
2 successes. We'll take it. So you guys do some sneaking in. It's a lot of like, waiting for the right opportunity to come in. I mean, there's a couple of guards, so there's like, we never get to go on the field operations, Hans. It's like, I know. Don't worry about it. Someone needs to protect the space. It's very important. And it's like, yes, well...
What's so important about it? Where is it?
Oh, good question, Hans, now that you've mentioned it. No. And then they just go back to sharing a cigarette between the two of them. So, talking about, how the natives here are frustrating to deal with, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So, do you stay and listen, or do you take this opportunity and move on?
If they're not saying anything interesting, we're moving to...
All right.
I guess I'd turn to Thomas and be like, you know this place better than anyone. Where's the place we should go for info?
Yeah, you've made it past the palisades. There's still patrols inside of the base. It's not like everyone's on the outside. Like, when I say patrols, it's not like, I will follow this exact path like a video game character. It's like, there are people here, like, peeling potatoes. There's a couple of guys, like, shaving in, like, the open, like, latrine area sort of thing. Like, they're just soldiers off duty, basically. So, but, any off-duty soldier will look at you and be like, yo, what the fuck? Why is there an American, a dark-skinned man, and a European man walking around this base in weird non-army fatigues? So
they've never heard the joke? An American, a Polish man, and a black man walk into a bar.
Wow, they immediately go to like skin color and race. Yeah. I don't like these Nazis, to be honest.
they're Nazis.
All right, so where are we headed, Tomasz?
Probably I'd go straight to my workshop, the one that I was in the very first scene, because that would be an area I know.
Now, you know for a fact that the workshop does not have the crystals that you're looking for in. But it does have tools and stuff like that if you want to take them with you.
I'm thinking, because it was like the mechanic shop, right? So there'd probably be things like drums of oil and gasoline everywhere.
Think of it like it's mostly, it's not so much like a clean room, it's more like a mechanics bay than anything. Like, you probably have a lot of, like, there's probably like experimental places for like containing explosions, but that's about it.
Well, I was just thinking of starting a fire.
Oh, like an oil fire inside of this place?
Yeah, if I were to like puncture a drum of oil and like set something on fire nearby so that it'll give us a few minutes before the whole thing catches fire. That's going to get attention and pull people to that. Quick, we've got to put this fire out before the thing goes into a big explosion and fire.
So I would allow you to like create some sort of weird, like, this is your character, you're MacGyver, right? You can create, if you have access to the right stuff, whatever you need to the situation. So if you want to create like a delayed like oil fire in this room, you can.
Yeah, that's basically what I want. I want it to just give us a couple of minutes so that we can set it up to catch fire. I specifically chose oil because it's going to be really smoky and bad and get everyone's attention.
Yep, I assume so, yeah.
And then we can be somewhere else before that starts. And then everyone's like, oh shit, put the fire out, get some buckets.
Yes, okay. Take a plot point. I'll accept this. So, let's get a craft mechanics from you. Difficulty 7. Cool. Yeah. I mean, one more success would have been like amazing, but it is what it is. So you set this up. What is the the mechanics of this actually look like?
Probably like just grab a drum of oil, sit it on a bench, and punch the bottom with a screwdriver.
Not so much the minutia, but like how long do you want it to wait before the burn starts?
Well, I was going to just say I'd just like move to the other side of the workshop and then set fire to a rag or something so that it trickles over. It's just something very simple like that.
Or like a candle burning down or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a fuse of some description.
Yeah.
Okay, but how long do you want? Like what are we saying here? With 4 successes, you can set a reasonable time, like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes sounds about right.
Cool. All right then.
Just time for us to move somewhere else before the fire breaks out.
Cool. So, where's the next place you want to go?
The place where they were keeping the crystals, the actual the one that I probably wasn't allowed in.
All right. Can I get a straight intelligence roll for you with a -2? Difficulty 7. 8 actually. Make it 8. Wow. Shit. Okay. What is your intelligence? 3. So you rolled 6 dice. You rolled 4 dice there, and you got 3 successes. Cool.
Yeah, 3 tens actually. That was not even just successes. 3
yeah. Wow. Shit. Yeah, you did. So yeah, let's assume that your curiosity for this meant that you investigated where they were holding them. Yeah. So there is a big warehouse, specifically in this sort of, it's like a zone. Like this is mostly R&D, this base, right? Like it's mostly barracks, R&D. The mine for this is somewhere else. Obviously, they wouldn't like build a base around the bottom of the mine, but they do have a big holding facility for raw materials here, and the like housing these materials is actually pretty interesting because they do come in like they have to house them in sort of like safe environments, so they keep it cold, not necessarily because it's volatile that way, but there's not a lot of danger in keeping it cold, right? So the room is like it's big cold sort of factory, warehouse, and each of these are in sort of like crates, and the crates are lined with straw, I guess, and they keep the crystals. They're about yay big, right? Which is to say, like about the size of a football sort of thing, right? But they're not like width size of the football, about the length size of a football, right? And they come in various different like girth, I guess, and those are put inside of like basically like I guess like foam inlays, and they're stood up, and then they're kept in the like a container basically, and this entire facility is basically just like lined with these crates. Each crate has about maybe 9 of these crystals in them, and there's tons of crates in here. So, and that actual warehouse is probably the most guarded place of this internally, mostly to stop curious scientists from taking what they want. So yeah, and that's like kept behind lock and door sort of thing, like a big, they have like transport for like transport doors, like truck doors sort of thing on the side here, and those are pretty heavy, but they also have like lock bolted what do they call those big like blast doors sort of thing, I guess, almost inside of here. So this factory is made out of concrete and stuff. So yeah, what a great place. Oh my god. Yeah, so yeah, that's where these guys are held.
Well, I mean, I think we want to get in there, don't we?
It's a good chance. Plus, the other thing that you're here for is information too. So
keep that in mind.
Well, that would be an officer, right? Or are we looking for paper documents?
You could bring an officer with you.
I'm asking the group if anybody.
I mean, supply routes where their entrance is to Hollow Earth would be helpful.
Officer would be more difficult.
A map, if there's a map around, that might be really good to see what they know. I don't suppose they have like the Terra Arcanum's number.
The only working surface to Hollow Earth telephone.
Yeah. Of course, it's
Well, I mean,
rotary.
I'd know where the officers' area was, right?
Of course, yeah, the barracks and stuff like that. Anyway, but before we do that, we've just passed the 2-hour mark. So why don't we take a break? Many thanks to our Patreon supporters for this week's episode. Head on over to patreon.com/Henley to support the growth of Die Party. We were talking about finding the information about from the officers' tent, mess, whatever you want to call it.
Deciding whether we're going for the crystals first or officers' information first.
Yeah, and I would say you probably have about maybe 7 minutes left before the explosion, smoke, what have you, distraction happens. And Sheepdog comes running in for no apparent reason.
I'm calling for the crystal.
You're just assuming that?
Yes. What was that, Graham?
Crystals.
Crystals?
That's what I said.
Doc? No, Tomasz?
I mean, it sounds like the officer's tent, as weird as it is, might be easier to hit first.
I mean, it's sort of like you'd be the risk running there. I assume would be running into like an off-duty soldier, right? So either way, I think both places would be easier to hit after the distraction happens.
Well, yeah, that was the idea. Is once the distraction begins, then we go in. But I mean, this is like the warehouse is concrete and blast doors. It's a little more than I was expecting.
I mean, it's where they house all of their very rare, only to be found in this area resource. So, plus it's all combustible. So,
And the doors are locked on that one?
I mean, it's a blast door that's
like
manned.
Yeah, did we check the door?
Knock, knock. Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, it's just manned mostly. So,
Okay.
Knock the door. It's me, Hans. Open up.
oh, Hans, yes, come.
Why aren't you on the tower? So many Hanses.
No, that was Hans.
Oh, right. Sorry, this is my bad. There's so many Hans.
They're all Hanzo mains. It sucks.
Get out.
Yeah. Crystals.
Crystals it is. We go for the crystals first.
All right, cool. So, do you wait for the distraction, or do you try and make an attempt before the distraction?
We could probably look and see. Is there any potential flaws that we could exploit, like a truck conveniently coming in with a delivery or something?
I mean, y'all got plot points.
Do I have something? How many do I have? I have 2 style points.
Mm,
Right, sorry, the star points in this game. Might be plot points in Shadowrun. Got it.
they might as well be plot points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're scientists. They can't be good at fighting.
Have you met our doctor?
I mean, he's only good at fighting because he's got the skill.
Yeah, who would have thought that a player character would be good at fighting?
Yeah.
So, but it's not manned by... It's manned by soldiers. There's MPs, that sort of thing, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like man as in like, well, there's people in there obviously doing their shit. But
Yeah, but there are...
are they outside or inside? The man.
I mean, there's like a, you know, like a desk gate thing where you go up and you state the reason for your papers and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
And then there's like one armed guard there, so it's not like it's not like it's incredibly fortified. It's not like there's a legion of men guarding this thing. It's just like two, but like it's two people more than.
Inside the warehouse, waiting for us to come in and close the door behind.
Haha, got you, foolish Westerners.
So why don't I wait here?
Yep.
And Francis, he speaks German.
Mm-hmm.
You go see what the trouble is. You go see like what the protocol is,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll wait. That's the whole plan.
It's like, watch this. Hold my beer.
You go investigate, and I'll be here.
I mean, you're also immortal, so like, no skin off your back. Good sir.
I mean, I don't.
They could
Francis
potentially
doesn't know
take
that yet.
it off his back. Just saying.
Francis knows that he heals really fucking fast. He doesn't know he's immortal yet. I mean, I guess that would that be like proof to him that he like underwent the procedure and now he heals super quick.
I mean,
Because if he knows he's immortal, then hell's yeah, he's just gonna like walk up and be like, "Oh yeah, huh."
yeah, I mean, you know the procedure succeeded and you didn't die. You know that you heal really quick. You know that the people who did it to you were surprised.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
about
even-
all you know.
Even if Tamaji over here he should know the protocol, so he can tell Francis. Francis can speak German over there. Sort of, tell us the coast is clear, past the guards. We take out the guards on the way there, meet you in there, close the doors. Done.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Nobody.
I'm just like thinking how this would work.
I'm just waiting for the signal.
Put on your fluorescent orange vest and act and have a clipboard and pretend like you work there.
Make sure to wear your hard hat, and when you walk past people, tell them to put their hard hat on.
Yeah. A hard hat with like the swastika with the knife in the middle.
Yeah, it's like I guess
Although
it's
I
bright
did-
red. No, that'd be Russian. I don't know what Nazi hard hat color would be.
Probably be like slate gray.
It'd be like black with a skull,
Get in there.
like a silver skull on the front.
Yeah. So
And like I already did say like I prepared for stealth, and this is like the camouflage here is try to fit in. So yeah, I'm just gonna.
Act like you belong. And I kick
Yep.
it out in the middle of everything.
Yep.
okay, off you go. So then I said to Mabel, I said, oh, hold up. You there? What are you doing here?
And oh yes, I'm here for the.
Is this in German? Let's just stipulate that.
yeah.
Okay. Because you
This-
didn't,
this-
you didn't,
I'm-
you didn't do the.
French, he was suddenly confused.
I'm speaking. The subtitles underneath are what I'm actually speaking.
That's when he knew that he fucked up. English.
It's like pull out the two pistols and just like shoot.
All right. Yep. Go for it.
John Wick, everyone. No,
John
What are you
Woo,
gonna be like-
everyone, more like it.
Well, John Woo was with the slow mo. Only the slow mo's for Hyde.
Yeah.
Then it's John Woo.
I don't even
Yeah.
think John Wick ever went akimbo though. Did he? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Go on. What do you do?
Like, act like I'm like I'm one of their scientists, and like,
All right. Do you have disguise? Do you have subterfuge?
I mean, I've said before that we were preparing, so does that give me
Sure.
anything?
But
He has
that's
a
like
hard
imagine someone who doesn't know how to do that, right? It'd be like, "Hello, fellow children," you know? Like
Yeah.
that's what that would be if you don't have the skills to do it. You're not oh, I forget his fucking name now because it's been so long since we played this. You're not Null's character, for example. Gideon, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have disguise or anything.
Do you at least have empathy?
I do have empathy.
Okay. Well, why don't you make an empathy roll with a -1 since it's not the right skill?
And before he does anything,
Mm-hmm.
before you roll anything, where are we in relation to him?
I imagine this like in between two buildings sort of thing that you're doing all this like hushed talking or something. So you like you know the Scooby Doo gang sticking their head around the corner, watching him walk up to this place. Is that where you'd want to be? Something like that. That's what I'm imagining. So.
I don't know. I turned to Thomas, and I
Tamagotchi, please say it right.
Tomato. I guess there's no way for us to like climb on top of this building and like parasail down on top of these guys without being seen.
I mean, if you wanted to engineer some sort of weird zip line that you shoot and then slide down.
I think up until without being seen, it was all doable. But I think they'd noticed someone climbing on top of a big concrete building.
Well, I say we
Not
just
if there's a giant fire in their camp.
rush them.
You want to rush him?
I'm down to rush them. I got my wrench out.
I'm gonna like. Are you guys behind them? Like,
So here's what you could potentially do, right? You wait for
because
the
I'm trying
moment.
to get, I'm getting their attention on me.
Yep.
So if they come in a rush, they get like surprise attacks or at least something to.
So here's what I would suggest, right? Because they are on guard, right? Theoretically. So to a degree, you can't really get the drop on them. But what you can do is you can hand the man with the gun something so he puts his gun to the side and takes your stuff, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you can make it so that he spends a turn reacting rather than like, you know, whatever. So that's how I would look at this as a way to prepare for this. So the moment that he you know drops his guard is the moment that you'd get the drop on him, right?
Mhm.
And right now, let's smash cut over to what Abernathy's doing. You're in the bush, looking in. Everything seems
A cool rock.
just taking a sip from your like. You look behind you.
It's China.
It's
China.
like smash cut back. They're running towards this man, wrench ablaze, and he's like,
When did your wrench catch fire?
gunk, gunk, gunk.
Wrench ablaze.
Wrench ablaze, yeah. Wrench ablaze with
wrapped it in a
speed.
burning rag, obvious.
No.
Yeah.
It's not a. It goes. It's like that fucking zombie game where you can take a wrench and you can make it on fire or have like electricity sparking off of it for some fucking reason.
Dead Island.
Dead Island, yeah. Like you just make a wrench electric for some reason. Like fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, yeah. So
Like, you get a poisonous knife and it's like, oh, it's a knife coated in poison. No, it's got a little fucking spray bottle that's squirting poison out.
yeah, Dying Light's the other one. Yeah. So
It's just a frozen cobra with its mouth open. You just stab people with that.
Frozen cobra with its mouth.
Just squeeze it and poison. Anyway,
I fucking love the mental image of that.
what am I rolling?
So, you guys have a surprise round, essentially. There's 2 guards here. The idea is you want them to not alert the entire camp that shenanigans are happening. So,
Until a giant fire happens and then shenanigans ablaze.
yeah, but that seems like a workplace health and safety thing. You know, that's like an OSHA problem that they have right there. More
Sure.
than Westerners
That's a
attacking
get the
them.
bucket. That's not a get a gun.
Yeah, that's get a bucket. That's like put down your shaver and run in without pants, without a shirt on, sort of thing, right? So yeah, you've got 2 dudes. There's 3 of you.
Cool.
Let's make a mace baby. Who goes first?
Well, like I still have a roll, like mid roll, so I have a -1 to whatever it was.
What are you doing?
It was an empathy, wasn't it?
Well, look, if your entire plan is to not is to just hit a dude in the face with a wrench, you don't need to. All you need to do is walk up and be like, "Here's my papers," and he drops his guard and takes them. The moment
Okay.
he does that, like what I'm saying is, the empathy was required for you to sneak by or to make it so that you can get in without them being aware that you're not supposed to be there. But because that is not what you're doing now.
Yeah, and I totally have some German guys' papers from the people we killed before. So
Oh yeah, like
It's literally just a bit of blank piece of paper folded up.
it's
You
just-
unfold
you,
it,
you open it up and it's just like, got ya, and then a wrench just dunk. All right, yeah. So,
just like look behind you.
yeah.
Crap.
Yeah,
All right. So,
just a picture of Admiral Akbar.
noise is an issue here. So, how do you guys deal with this?
Quietly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Give me some rolls. What are we doing? You got a turn each.
So there's 2 dudes.
2 dudes. One's inside of like a little hut thing. The other one is outside with an MP5 or a gun, like an assault submachine gun thing. He's put it down. It's on a sling. He's holding a piece of paper with your papers.
I'm gonna tell Tamaji, grab him, and I pull out one of my syringes with what's it called? What was that stuff we found?
Morphine, the horse tranquilizer that you had.
Yeah.
All right. Jumanji. God. Yeah.
What year is it?
So that happens. Right. So Tomas is going to do a grapple.
That's my suggestion.
Well, give me an idea. Let's do some rolling.
I mean, I was just gonna biff my wrench at one of them and then rush the other one.
Cool. Do that. So you want to throw your wrench?
Yeah.
You have that ability. That's a skill
I
you
do.
took.
Yes.
So the way that it works is he will roll defense against your throwing. But yeah, that's the same as anything really. So you run out, get a crow's hop and go. 4 successes. Okay. Let me pull up my sweet Nazi soldier bad guy page. You rolled against 4 5? Hey.
Yeah. Fine.
All right. Yep. Nothing. It just sort of like I don't know,
He's got one of those hats on and it's just like boom, he's wearing his hard hat.
yeah, it hits him in the hard hat. Hard hat comes off. He just sort of looks over. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, in German. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Whose turn is it now? You also have a move. Do you want to try and move up into his face?
Yes. Yeah. That was the idea. Was like while I'm running at him, I biff the wrench and end the turn in melee range with him.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Pull out my tranquilizer arrow, bow and arrow that I just invented just now.
I mean, if you want to, I did say that if you guys wanted to prepare, you could say what you prepared ahead of time. So
We do have access to bows, and it's not that hard to stick a syringe on the end of an arrow.
that sounds like an engineering roll to me.
thing is, I cannot. This is a new arm.
Yeah, go on.
So let's not do that. I'll follow up.
The guy you got it from was a bass player. You're just like playing bass on the bow really fast.
Now, here's what I would say, right? Metal Gear Solid 5 takes place... Oh, sorry, Metal Gear Solid 3 is in the era that I want this game to be set in. Very pulpy. There is such thing as a pistol that shoots trank darts.
Sure.
And it isn't too far removed to have the engineering master here prepare you a tranquilizer pistol of some descript. It's going to be pretty tough, but I did say that you guys could say at any point during the session, I prepared this ahead of time, I'd like to do something with it. So,
all right. So would you be willing to give me some trick darts?
I'd be willing to have Doc make a engineering roll.
I can shoot pretty well.
You can shoot pretty well. That's why I'm suggesting it as a alternative to your bow and arrow idea. But yeah.
So for it to be silent, would I probably make some kind of like a crossbow pistol thing?
I mean, I'm willing to say that you could. It'd be a pistol. It'd be gas powered. So it'd be like one fire, one shot, and then you would have to reload it.
Yeah, I'm just saying it wouldn't be something where I've just like modified a Luger to fire darts magically.
No. I mean, you can. It's pulp. You can go as far as you want.
Yeah, I've
Pretty sure there was also a 1911 lying around as well. At some point, someone had one of those guns. I don't know who. But yeah, that's something you guys can have.
Okay.
If you want it. If you want it.
Is that something that I have built for you? I constructed you a mighty weapon.
You'll have to roll for it to see whether or not this is a
Well,
thing.
I'm just asking if that's what he wanted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
well,
science engineering, difficulty 8. This is going to be...
science engineering or craft mechanics?
I mean, I guess craft mechanics. If you're hollowing out a pistol to fit a tranquilizer dart, then absolutely, yeah, probably mechanics more than anything.
What's the difficulty?
7. Oh yeah, I was gonna say if you you'd probably need to make it in time. You'd probably need 5 successes, but you got it. So you have it. So the thing about this dart stuff, the way that it works is it's the same as a rifle, right? So you can fire once and then you spend the next turn reloading it, sort of thing, right? So, because that's the way that Doc's old Hyde character used to do it, but he had the attribute that allowed him to reload in the same turn. The trait, sorry. So the way that it works for you is you shoot once, you spend the next turn reloading it if you wanted to reload it. So,
Fine, but it's still a handgun.
it's still a handgun, yes.
All right, cool. So let's take one of these guys out.
Sure. Go ahead, make a shot for me, please.
Should I roll just the skill, or should I roll the
Let's say that let's take a look at your character sheet because I'll quickly make one for you if you want, because I don't know what this would be exactly. Where is which oh, there it is. Yeah, I was looking for your character sheet, couldn't find it. Okay, so I'd say this is 2 non-lethal. So you can just roll the Luger. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Boom. All right. Yeah.
In the eyeball.
In the eyeball. Well, he still gets to roll defenses on this.
In the eyeball from behind.
From behind. He's turned around.
If he's dead, he is still unconscious, so it does work.
Yeah.
Technically.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Defense. Oh yeah. Yep. You do enough non-lethal damage to him to knock him unconscious. Like he literally like goes down to 0. He's out. So yeah. The helmet comes flying off. He turns around. Fucking big comic dart straight in the eyeball. Down he goes. There's still a man in a house, little hut thing. So what's next? One person left, which also happens to be the man closest to that hut.
So
Francis Jackson. Do you jump through the window and pulverize him?
I just luger through the window.
I mean, noise is an issue, right? He's trying to keep things quiet.
The whole point was to not have.
Just throw some dynamite in there.
Oh yeah, silence dynamite, my favorite.
I throw 100 symbols at him. No.
100 symbols. I drop a piano on the man.
Yeah. The piano wire. Yeah. Like what is he doing? He's just like surprised.
Yeah, it's a surprise round. He's acting like.
So I just get a free whatever?
I mean, you have to get to him. He's inside a hut, so.
I'm not good at anything brawling.
I mean, it's okay. Here's the thing. It's not a hut with glass on it. As I said, this is a main camp, but
Is
it's
it like one of those guard posts where it's like a little, like a waist high wall with 4 posts and a little slanted roof?
pretty much, yeah. It's basically just there to like, keep track of documents and have a place for them to sit with a desk sort of thing. And maybe it's also got some sort of like, hand cranked alarm horn.
Mm.
There's no glass or anything on it. It's not like it's like bulletproof or whatever. So you're good. You can lean over, grab the man, pull him out, and pulverize him if you wanted to.
Because that sounds like something Francis Jackson could do.
Maybe this is his moment, his time to shine.
You've seen men of valor step up to the plate before, Francis Jackson. You think of yourself as Deadpool, right?
I'll give you a paper cut you wouldn't believe.
Absolutely. Throw the book at him.
What would Charles do?
I don't want to think about that.
He would cane the
think
man.
about it and then do the opposite.
I take offense.
Oh, it is a brawl touch. Fuck.
Yeah. If you want
Basically,
to
all you need to do is stop him from shooting.
or tripping an alarm of some of the script.
Yeah, as long as if you can prevent him from making noise, we can all move in on him, and then just like it'll be like a scene from Shaun of the Dead. We'll just be running around him, punching him over and over again.
He has a weapon on him, doesn't he?
Yep, it's on the desk in front of him.
Can I grab the weapon?
Yeah.
Can
I don't see why not. But that's not going to stop him from shouting or anything. There are still things that he can do as a Nazi soldier. He understands the predicament that he's in. So maybe his valor supersedes his personal safety. It's hard to say. But you can do whatever you like. You could grab the gun and pistol whip the bitch.
Yeah, well, I have my own gun. I just want to disarm him or threaten him into stay there kind of thing. With the gun, obviously.
Don't move.
Yeah, with the gun, I'm like.
Okay, do you have any sort of intimidation?
Empathy?
Square peg, round hole.
We really want you to just not move for a moment. Just sit. Stay. please.
I mean, I don't have any skills that are to do this. I can shoot him.
What a
You're-
predicament.
You're literally listing up all the skills I have currently.
Yeah.
Brawl, intimidation.
You're the motherfucker that decided to stay back. All right, Sheepy.
Do you remember what happened last time?
I remember the last time he stealthed. I remember it very well.
I shouted in English very, very loudly, and everyone almost got killed.
It's true.
Could I put this guy to sleep with a history lesson? That's what I can do.
What, like, you mean like the basketball scene of him playing like the Horse Whisperer on tape and the guy falling asleep instantly? I mean, it is pulp, but
Such a good movie.
it is such a good movie, man. I love
I
it.
need to watch that again.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, yeah. Anyway,
Like I can either kill him, which won't be quiet.
now
Or-
here's the other thing that's worth pointing out. To him, you haven't acted impulsively. You're still
Yeah.
a person who's shown up here. As far as he knows, a man from the shadows threw a wrench at his friend. Okay, you haven't done anything untoward towards the
And then
Germans, so.
his friend turns around and gets a friggin' syringe in the eye.
So it wouldn't be so far removed to say that you could act like, oh my god, big strong Nazi, shelter me from the Polish man with the wrench. Wouldn't be so hard to believe to do that.
All right. Yeah, that's probably what I'll have to do. Is like
Agre-
act scared and be like pointing.
Sure. All right.
But like getting in his way.
You mean
to
like
him and
you're the
like,
drowning person
blaming
right
him,
now?
"Help me,
Yeah.
help me."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the drowning person. Okay, I get you.
Yeah. I'm the scientist. It doesn't look like I can fight. I can barely fight, except for I can shoot people.
Yeah. So what is that like? Maybe you like back up, hands up, and you sort of get in between him and,
And the signal, like his little hand crank.
Oh, that's inside his thing, right? So
Yeah,
you,
I'm gonna dive in and like duck down and be like, "There's people."
okay. You know what? If you want to dive into him and make it look like you're trying to get away from whatever this Polish man is,
Yeah.
and take him out with you, I'll accept that. But that's still going to be a brawl grapple check. But we will guise it as you trying to get in the way, right? Like that's if that's what you want to do, then that's what the role is. It sounds like your pipes want you to beat the man up though. So
Yeah, but that won't be quiet. I can either like there's only two things I can do. There's like act like his friend or
Yeah, but
try to kill
here's the
him.
thing: like you acting like your friend, like you need to impose on him something, or else he's going to do whatever it is that he needs to do next turn. Right. So here's what's going to happen: everyone gets to roll initiative next round. This is your surprise round. You can do whatever you like in the surprise round. That's not going to affect anything. There's still initiative, so there's still a chance that your team can come out on top. Keep that in mind. This isn't a do or die situation. You doing something here doesn't mean that you're going to lose the entire...
What is a
You
touch
always
brawl?
like
Is that
use
strength?
Grenade and then dive into the booth. See if he drops down with you.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now. What was the question?
I just want to know what a touch grapple roll is. Is that strength or size? What?
Hang on, grapple 120.
Make a brawl touch attack with the penalty equal to the size rating of the opponent. If you make more successes than the target's strength score, target is grappled.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out what to...
So I need to make an attack with the penalty equal to the
Okay.
size
Hold up.
of the opponent.
So it'd be a brawl attack or a strength attack.
Okay, so touch
Uh,
attacks. Okay. Okay, likewise when facing opponent, blah blah. With touch attacks, your character side cover when penalties to focus defense roll. Okay. It doesn't really tell me how to do it.
I'm looking at grapple.
Burning with a torch. Because grapple attacks are not concerned with doing damage to your character, you do not get to use your character's passive defense rating for your defense. Likewise, when facing an opponent wielding a torch, someone okay. With touch attacks, your character size, cover, and wound penalties do factor into your defense roll armors. Okay. Okay. Touch attacks was okay. It doesn't tell me how to fucking do it though.
On the sheet you gave
It's
us.
a brawl attack.
Oh, the maneuver sheet?
Yeah. It says make a brawl touch attack with the penalty
it's literally
equal
just
to the size rating of the opponent. I don't have brawl, so I guess it would be strength
Yes.
with a -2, which would mean I'd be rolling 2 dice. And what's his size?
0.
Really? So I need to
Most
be 0.
humans are
Yeah,
0.
everything is 0. Doc Tomasz is a 1 because he's gigantic.
Okay, so I just need to beat a 0. I need a 1 on 2 dice.
No, he gets to roll defense, but he only gets
Yeah, he only gets his passive.
he only gets his passive, which I believe, if I remember correctly, is hold on,
Body.
defense. Mouse over that.
Oh, no,
Passive
wait,
is body.
What's
yes.
their strength score?
Hmm?
If you make more successes than your target's strength score, target is grappled.
3. Oh wait, for the Nazi, 2.
2 strength?
So you'd need 2 strength to grapple.
Mm-hmm.
You'd need 2 successes to grapple him.
Yeah. So I'm going to spend some points then. I'll spend 1 point just to get one more dice. 5 difficulty.
Yeah.
2.
All right, and you needed 2 to beat it. Do you need to beat it or do you need to get it? I can't remember. Let's take a look. What are you doing? A grapple?
Yeah. If you're
okay,
if you make
penalty
successes-
equal to the size rating of the opponent, which is 0. If you make more successes than the target strength score, target is grappled. Okay, you do not grapple him.
No.
Nope.
But I distract him.
You distract him. You
No,
jump over
no.
there. All right, initiative, boys. Let's fucking do it. Initiative.
Difficulty 5 on initiative still.
Yeah.
Is there a way to set the default to 5? Because it's default to 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really annoying, but I don't know how to change it.
I set the default to 4. So, mostly because I don't know why. Thinking about it now.
The default is 5, and it's yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean the default's generally 5.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Cookie karma, bitch. That's what you get for not sharing. Do you really
Jesus,
want to
Solomon.
eat? Do you really want to eat those cookies now? Like, think about it. Think about what you're saying. Okay. So, and fucking Jesus Christ.
Solomon's got the freaking Kobe from downtown.
I don't understand how Charles always manages to like put himself in a situation where he's not in the actual conflict, which is what his character does.
Charles is always in the bloody conflict.
Apparently not.
He was first to charge in.
Internal conflict.
Yeah,
He's trying to stab that cement wall.
that's it. All right, and we will roll the Nazis initiative. He said. Where's initiative on this thing again? There it is. Okay. So, Solomon, 9. Francis, 3. Tomasz, 4. And 5 for the Nazi. Great. Okay, Solomon,
So,
your turn.
this guy in the hut still hanging out.
Yep, still in there.
Hmm,
And you would need to spend your turn reloading this pistol.
if I want to.
If you want to, yes.
Is Francis in my way?
No, he dove. So the way I imagine that happening is you
I probably
dive.
don't. I got like halfway in, but like my legs are.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Yeah. So you see Francis's legs kicking in the air, but you can attack the Nazi if you wanted to.
I kind of feel like picking up this guy's body and holding it like he's still alive, like a puppet.
For what reason?
Hey, don't worry, I'm okay. These guys were just playing around. Ha!
Just kidding around.
We got you, bro. We got you.
Look at me take my hat on and off.
Oh, you playing tricks on the new Nazi. Okay.
I guess I'll just reload.
Sure, yeah, you can reload. Put in another trank dart. Do you move closer? Do you hide around the corner? Do you stay out of plain sight?
Can I get like, you know how like the blast door is usually there? It's kind of inset in the wall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get in there.
Yeah, sure. So the way that it sort of looks like, if I was to like just quickly draw it up, right? Thing, gate for trucks, blast door, hut. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I can be right here.
Yep. So yep. Okay. Cool. Easy. All right. Nazi takes a turn. Boy, oh boy, what does a Nazi whose friend just got attacked do? One hand grabs the gun, other hand grabs the windy alarm. He starts to wind it. Sort of.
Is this when the fire happens? So it sounds like a fire alarm? Probably not.
I mean,
Could it be with a plot point?
I would say for 3 plot points. Yes.
I only have 2. I only have fucking 2. It's not my turn anyway.
Anyone can put plot points into that. I'll say that's a global one.
Can we pull them together? Because I'm more than willing to put in for that. Because I think that would be perfect.
I'll tell you what, 1 plot point each, and that makes it happen.
Sure.
However,
Is that including me?
no, it's only 3. However, Abernathy, you hear the telltale signs of an alarm going off. Sounds like your friend's fucked up.
That's not the signal.
True.
It's not the signal, but
No.
that's what you hear. You hear the alarm.
And you see smoke pouring out of the building.
Not yet,
Well-
but you hear an alarm first. Yes.
But it's not the signal.
Sure. I'm just letting you know that's what you hear. You can do whatever you like.
Okay.
You can continue
Yeah,
to do
no.
nothing.
No, I mean they said I have to wait for the signal for the tally-ho.
All right then.
If I rush in now, it's going to bugger up the whole bloody operation.
All right then. Nothing happens with Charles. He spends his turn cranking a crank, but he is armed. Tomash.
I'm gonna punch him because it's been too long since someone just punched a Nazi. So let's.
That's my move.
All right
You
then.
bastards.
You attempt to punch the man. Go ahead and roll me a punchy punch. All right, yeah. You clock a Nazi. So how does non-lethal damage sound? Yeah? Yeah. That's melee. That's different from brawl.
Oh shit, that's right.
I mean, it's the same.
Melee.
Yeah. Do you have brawl?
I don't. I only have melee.
All right. So that.
Can I recover my wrench then?
Yes, you can.
Cool. I guess
However,
that
you
will-
won't be able to make the attack if you do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so I'm going to recover my wrench and continue rushing. I can imagine I haven't actually slowed down at all since throwing my wrench,
Yeah.
because this has all happened in a few seconds.
Yep. Okay. Francis, legs dangling. Still not giving away the fact that you are a bad guy in the eyes of the Nazis. He does
gonna
have a
shoot him.
rifle now.
He's already done the thing, so I'm just gonna shoot him.
Okay, sure. You pull out
But
your
I'm
gun.
gonna like dig my gun as far into his gut as possible. This is like point blank because I'm right there
Mm.
to try and maybe silence the blow.
So the actual muzzle isn't the reason why this.
Well, it's like shooting like into a pillow. It doesn't do much. But
Okay, you know what? This is pulp. I'll accept Hollywood silences. Fine.
Yeah.
You bury the pistol deep inside. Give me an attack.
Giggity.
Have you ever played Postal with the cat silencer? Maybe you could do something like that.
Why did you bring that game up? I could have gone for another 10 years without remembering that fucking game. The loading times were awful.
Oh no, wait.
Yeah.
Luger. That's what I want.
Yeah.
All right.
4, I guess.
Yeah. You bury it deep into the ceramic plate that he has in his body armor, and you loose a fire into it. Nothing happens.
I'm just gonna yell, Scheiße!
All right, Solomon. And what do you do?
Shooting with my regular gun.
You see smoke billowing in the distance. Shoot him with your regular gun. All right. So you holster your current pistol. You pull out your other pistol. Yeah. Nah, sorry. Changing weapons is an action.
Oh, sorry.
He has 2 arms now. He can technically like.
Well, let's just call that with the trank then.
All right, with the drink? Sure. Absolutely. Fucking Jesus Christ, this Nazi.
Have we discovered one of their super soldiers by accident?
Most likely, yeah.
You hit his ceramic eye. He's got one fake one.
Yeah, you shoot the pistol. Into his chest. It hits a ceramic plate. It's fucking Nazi, man. He's like perfectly deflecting all of your attacks. I love it. All right, Nazi's turn. Yeah. So give me an idea who's in front. We have Solomon who's hiding in an alcove, right? You have defense. You're not entirely visible to this man. We have a man who buried a pistol into his chest at point blank range and took a shot. And we have our friend Tomek, who is basically in front of him picking up a wrench.
Is that what's happening now?
Well, there's a choice between the man who's literally got a gun in his stomach and the man who's got a wrench in front of him. I think he's going to take the one who's got a gun in his stomach. So he's going to take the rifle and he's going to point it down and he's going to shoot you, Francis Jackson.
I have all my defense because I did grapple 2 turns ago.
That's right, you did.
Yeah.
So go ahead
Not
for me.
gonna help.
Go ahead for me and roll a defense, please. Also worth pointing out, Abernathy, you're hearing gunfire now.
Not the signal.
Difficulty 5 again.
Yep.
4.
Okay. Elite Nazi soldier.
Fuck. I don't like the sound of that.
All right. There we go. 7 successes. So you take a total of...
Yes, 3
3
damage.
lethal?
3 lethal damage. As he caresses your spine with bullets. Well, I guess your shoulders and head. Actually, this is kind of important because you might get shot in the face here, and you might actually die.
I mean, I'm face down still, sort of.
Yeah. So give me an idea how you're shooting him. Are you like, did you get real close and try and, because you said you try and silence the pistol, right? When you did
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. So I'd like grab him with one hand and like shove my pistol in and shot.
All right.
So, like,
So
my head
he's
was kinda
basically, he had the MP38 and he tries to shoot it down at you, sort of thing. Like, and you're like basically hugging this man.
Yeah.
So
I would buy like back and shoulders. I think he would need to make a cold shot to hit my head though. So he'd get.
Would he even try and use the gun against him? Like with a submachine gun, you're not gonna.
Yeah, I would say he has. He's basically being grappled with a man with a pistol, and the only thing he has in his hand is an alarm bell and a submachine gun. He's going to try and take a shot. I'm okay with you just taking the damage as normal then. I'll say that that's fine. If you had, say... yeah, okay, we'll just leave it at that. It's fine. This isn't Cyberpunk. I don't need to punish you for that stuff. Okay, Tomasz. Wrench. Enabled.
Wrench this man in the face.
Mhm.
I'm gonna wrench him a question.
Cool, go for it. You gonna throw it? You gonna wrench him?
I'm gonna hit him with it.
Cool. Cool. Six is pretty chunk. This guy. Okay, yeah, he takes 1 damage. Yeah, that's non-lethal, right? Or lethal? I thought
It's non-lethal.
non-lethal.
Wrench
Okay,
it.
yep.
It's just a.
Yeah, you guys hear the smuttering of soldiers getting their shit together. There's a little bit of confusion because there's both smoke and a fire, if that makes any sense. So they're a little confused as to where they're supposed to go, but you've got a bit more time, basically. This man is still doing them.
Wait, he doesn't take one because I'm specialized, so I only rolled a 4.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, then. Francis. Having been shot in the spine, what do? Or in the back, I guess.
Wait, no, I completely fucked that up. I rolled melee. I didn't actually roll the wrench.
Go ahead, then.
Yeah, it should have been that.
All right. Nothing happens.
Still a 4, but yeah, I've got to remember to actually click that.
Yep. I'm cool with that. Francisco.
Where's that maneuvers page?
You could try to disarm them, man.
Hmm. Although disarm is like disarm's a brawl attack.
Mm-hmm. Melee or brawl. With a
Roll-
-2.
So that would be a -4 because I don't have the skill, so that's not even worth rolling. Right?
Yep.
Thick.
I mean, you could just shoot the man again.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to. I am gonna yell tally ho while I'm shooting though.
All right.
6 turns later, Charles will arrive to the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Charles, he'll run in, see a Nazi, and go to town. So we'll see how we go. All right. You hear the distinct sound of a man screaming "Tally ho" over the sound of a.
It's like I'm doing it over and over again. I'm like, tally ho, tally ho.
Yep. Go ahead. Did you shoot?
For God's sakes. 255. 4 again? What the fuck? I should just take the normal one. Jesus. Oh, wait. Is it 4 or 7? Because I'm specialized, but I can't remember.
Specialized is specialty.
Okay, so in my academics, like my other skill specializations, we use the normal successes.
Yeah, when it's stuff like where you need to be specialized from the onset, it's just normal successes. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This Nazi is just like, you push back, right? You take a shot at him. Ting! Ceramic plate, and he's just wearing like a normal outfit. You guys are just fucking...
It turns out he used to be in the service of a Chinese emperor, and he's actually just a clay pottery.
No. He's got like little tiny ceramic places all over his body. You don't know where they are though.
Yeah. We've hit 2. We know where 2 of them are.
3. You've hit 3.
3 of them.
God damn this man. Okay, Solomon. Actually, can we get an initiative roll from you, Abernathy, please?
Charles, what's his T? Places it down on the ground there.
Yep.
Draws his sword and charges.
All right.
And also, he
Initiatives.
What is initiative?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just need to know where to put you on the list, really.
At the bottom. I rolled 2 dice, all right? Look, everyone is
good. Okay. All right. So we don't even need to change the order. You're just there.
Yep. I'm just, just chilling. Well, it takes time. I have to, like, brush off all the crumbs off my dress jacket and...
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. All right, Solomon, what are you doing?
I'm going to take my entire turn
Yeah.
to take my crossbow gun and put it away and take my other gun out of my shirt because, this game's combat is bad.
Yeah. To be fair, you need to do that in Dungeons and Dragons as well, so that's not just this game.
No, you don't.
Alright, then you don't. Nazi's turn. He's going to, now that you've taken a step back, he's going to try and shoot you again, Francis. So can I get a defense, please? Actually, this time also he's going to do an auto fire.
Of course he is.
So... He's going to fire 20 bullets and gain a +3 bonus.
Gaining a bonus?
Yes, he gains 3. He gets a +3 to his roll. But
because whenever we do like rapid fire or auto fire, we get like negatives.
While firing an automatic weapon, your character may take a full burst fire, full auto fire, or strafing attack. This is when you guys are doing strafing. He's firing 20 rounds at a single target. It's different from what you guys were doing when you're trying to like attack multiple targets with it. But basically he has to reload next turn is how that works. So
okay. 4.
All right.
2 1s.
Cool modifier 5. Oh.
1.
Yeah, you get riddled with bullets for 1 lethal damage. Good sir.
Fuck yeah. He hits all the ceramic plates in my spine.
Now, you know what it is? You've seen Ali G in the house when he stands still and then he moves and it's got this line around him with like a dick outline.
Yeah.
God, that movie. That fucking movie. Yeah, that's what happens. So I'm going to say after Charles's attack, you guys are going to be accosted by additional Nazi forces. And you can see them in the distance, gathering momentum. So, Thomas.
I'm a little bit confused. I'm going to probably just get a better grip on my wrench this time and try that again.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm rolling so good on this guy's defense, guys. Go ahead. All right. So that's specialty. You got 6.
That's a 6. Yeah.
So that's probably the first roll where you guys have gotten a specialty higher than your normal successes. So.
You bring it down on his head and bring it back up, and it's just in the shape of a face now.
The wrench has been destroyed. Oh my god. This Nazi. What the hell? The last one you guys just like dispatched like that, and this one's like made of like.
This guy's made of that unobtainium shit that we're trying to get.
Yeah. You take another look. You roll perception is actually a crystal. Okay. Francis, what do you do? Having the magazine drops out of this guy's gun, you have an opportunity.
Do I need to call a shot? Is that a thing I need to do to fucking hit this guy? And it's something not a ceramic plate?
I mean, so a cold shot to a vital area.
Cold shot head is -4.
So you can go specific location or you can go vital area. Now the vital area basically is equal to your opponent's full defense rating. So you would be taking a shot with a -8, but if you hit him in a vital area. Like he doesn't roll defense, basically.
I only have 9 dice.
But you only need a 1 success in that to hit him. He's been rolling like fucking fire on his defense, so it's up to you whether you want to take that or not. The other thing is you could target a specific location. You'd take a negative to your thing. Like you could shoot him in the arm and he wouldn't be able to like shoot anymore.
Or I could shoot him in the head and
head would be a -4 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is better than a -8.
Actually a limb is a -2. Sorry. Not a hand is a -4.
-2, hand is -4.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for a head.
Alright, so -4 on your attack. Go for it.
Yeah. Because I just need to hit this guy one time. 3.
Okay. Let's see his defense now.
It's a cold shot. What does that do?
If you get over his defenses, then you hit him in the head and he'll basically die.
Okay.
So this is 3 successes you got, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. He ducks. He ducks. Anticipating your move. Yeah, but that was the way you do it. Yeah. This game, the combat in this can be a bit like wonky at best. Like, as you can see, like I suppose technically speaking, I haven't been giving him negatives for being attacked multiple times in a turn. So I'll tell you what, I'll re-roll that. He's had 3.
I did say this would be like that scene from Shaun of the Dead where we're all just like standing.
Sorry, that's on me. I completely forgot about that. So I'll re-roll this and give him a -3. -2, sorry. Because he's had 2 attacks previous to yours. Okay, there we go.
Still doesn't matter.
Still doesn't matter, though. defenses go to him. So, yeah, he still ducks. So, yeah, that's on me. My bad. Sorry. But I don't think it would have made much difference ultimately. He's been rolling pretty specifically good. So, all right, Charles. You're charging in. Full run sprint. Are you stopping at the first sign of a Nazi, or are you trying to find your friends?
I'll see what happens.
I mean, because you let me know, because I'll tell you that you found Nazis pretty much instantly when you ran in. Whether you stop is up to you, though.
I mean, is it like a big group of Nazis running towards something specific, or
Their backs are turned to you. They're
Okay.
distracted. But you see multiple Nazis.
I'll keep running towards the gunfire.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to say next turn you can jump into combat with these people. However, actually, you know what? You could, right now, if you wanted to, because it's not a very big camp, you could sprint like half of it. You do see a group, you do see your friends, and you see a group of Nazis moving on to your friends, if that makes any sense.
I'll run at the Nazis then.
All right. We'll do a charge attack. Did you take the thing that there was a trait in here, remember, for not having... Oh, no, that was Doc that was going to do that, right? You're going to take a trait that makes it so that you don't lose. You don't take negatives for doing, like... You always have your full
Oh yeah, no, I
defense.
do. I have that. I always have my full defense, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it's not about dodging; it's about soaking the hit.
Yeah. Okay, so you gain a +2 bonus to your attack, and you may, but you only roll passive defense. So, you can also shove a person if you want as well. But go ahead and make an attack.
So I get +2.
Yep.
Okay. 8.
Okay, so this is a different Nazi. I'm going to say there's a group of 4 coming here.
Okay.
And I'm also going to say that I'm going to give these guys like a -2 for not having... Like these are the Nazis that were like shaving, off-duty soldiers. So they're not like full regalia like the guys at the gate here were. So I'm going to give them a -2 on their rolls to, give them the idea that they don't have all their gear with them. They're not wearing proper fatigues and that sort of stuff. So.
Could I spend a style point to basically like sprawl them as I hit this one guy? So like it won't stop them from taking a turn or anything. It will just stop them from advancing on the other guys, basically.
I'll tell you what. We will use
Like kind of grab their attention, basically.
I'll tell you what. If you want, if you want to just grab their attention, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
That's not a
basically just like as I bowl into them, it kind of knocks
Sure,
them.
yeah. Well, I mean that would specifically be a shove, but you have their attention if you want to spend a plot point, right? You're a big enough threat, So go ahead and spend that plot point, and I will roll defense for this dude. Wait, sorry, hang on. I did say I'd give him a -2, so...
Start rolling badly, please.
Okay.
Better.
So that's 5 damage. Yeah. You basically skewer this man.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Right. Can I like straight through the back of the head and it like comes out his mouth?
And it's like, Hans, why aren't you saying anything? Turns around, this is pull the sword out, and then he just like, cavalry's here. Like I don't know what you fucking say or something.
What have you guys done?
I mean, there's apparently the fucking T-1000 over here that can't get fucking damaged. So
I feel like it's the dude in Indiana Jones at the plane fight. The really huge, muscly, bare chest dude.
yeah,
Except for there's no plane this time for him to get fucked up by.
yeah. All right, Solomon. I'm gonna roll some Nazi stuff here. So go. You just do your stuff. What are you doing?
Does it take a whole action to pull the hammer back on the gun?
It actually takes like 9 actions. So
Guess I'll do some more waiting.
yeah. All right. Oh, it's never been a problem in other combats because you guys have never really swapped weapons before, right? So, except for Hyde, but you know, he always was penalized for that stuff. So
He also dropped his weapon. He didn't put his other weapon away and get his new weapon out.
yeah.
Which is functionally equivalent.
Not in D&D rules, it's not.
Yeah. So.
Dropping a weapon does cost nothing.
I'll do it.
Okay. So, what would you like to do?
What is the situation? How close are these guys?
I mean, they were about to be within like, you know, probably pistol firing range sort of thing. So you would have to like cover the distance between them a little bit if you want to get into pistol firing range. We'll say they're about.
There's still a guy right here.
There's still a guy right here. Yes, the T-1000 Nazi. You can take a shot at him if you like.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right then. Go ahead. Whew. That 9 damage. Now you boys are rolling. Okay. So that's 2 damage. 2 lethal. Non-lethal, yeah? You're using your no, you're using your full pistol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright. Nazi 3, that's one of the group people. Abernathy, you're gonna get a Nazi train equivalent ran on you a little bit.
Bring it, bitch.
So they're gonna start shooting you. Can I get a 2 defense from you with the second defense having a -1?
Okay, so it's passive only.
Oh right, yes. Sorry. Yes, passive defense, which is body.
Body. So it's only -1 anyway. So it's -1 for the first one and -2 for the second.
Yes, if your body is only 1, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wait, what is your?
My body's 4.
Okay, and your dex is a low one, yeah.
It's 1, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Okay. So these guys are going to be carrying Lugers, since they're not, like, you know, ready for fighting. So.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah. Okay. 4 damage and 5,
6.
so you take 9 damage. What does that put you at?
-1.
I mean, he was just recently paralyzed. It's probably not a good idea to be running.
Okay. Well, sure. What is your okay. Jesus Christ. Ran into the most well-trained fucking Nazi soldiers ever. Okay. So the Terminator T-1000 is going to take a shot. He is going to wheel around and take a shot at Solomon, since you're the only one that's actually done damage to him. You're in, I guess, full cover at this point as well because you're behind the wall there. So can I get a defense roll with a +4 from you, please, Graham? Actually, no, he can't shoot. He spends his turn reloading. Sorry, don't even bother. So yeah, he pulls a magazine out from his pouch and puts it into the gun. That's easy. Tomasz. He's out of melee reach. You would have to like either go over the bench or because he's sort of like outside the other side of the little hut thing now, having dodged and maneuvered out of the way of the bullets. So you'd have to move and get him.
Well, yeah, I can still do that, can't I?
Yeah, you can. No, yeah, I'm just saying you have to move though. So
Yeah. No, I'll move on him and just continue wailing with this wrench that is apparently made of plastic or something.
go for it. So this is his second attack. Being attacked at.
7.
He might be down. Let's take a look. So he gets a -1. That's enough. You put him down. He's unconscious.
I'd like to think that he's probably a bit more than unconscious after all the beating he's taken. He's quickly dying.
I mean
he
no,
got
he's
hit with a lot of shit just there.
he's at 0.
Well, I'm going to continue wailing on him until he is dead.
Oh yeah, no, one more hit would do that. So if you want to coup de grace him, I'll let you do that in your next turn. Nazi 4, seeing that the British man has been put down to rest, he turns his attentions to the other people, and he makes his way up. Seeing his friend get wailed on by a Polish man, he's going to open fire on you. So go ahead, Doc. Roll me a defense, please. Lugo. All right, 2 damage. Lethal. All right, Francis. You have cover against the Nazi forces, the 3 men that are coming. What would you like to do?
Fucking shoot.
Go for it. You're in. This guy's in pistol range, so go for it.
6. Finally. Something higher than my normal.
Okay. He takes 1 lethal. All right.
Is this without... Is this at the -2? Because he's one of the unprepared soldiers, right?
Sorry, you're right. Yes. Also, I should re-roll your other attack real quick here. Same roll. So I'm gonna re-roll the Luger real quick. That did damage to you, Doc. Unless you want to keep it. Your choice.
I'm fine with.
You're fine? Okay. All right.
2 damage, so I have plenty.
Considering he can roll a lot better. So, yeah. Okay.
1 damage. Winged him.
Actually, I didn't actually roll the... That's, yeah. I'll re-roll the Luger hits for Sheepdog because I didn't actually put that in there either. Alright. 6 and 6. Alright, what was your defenses on before? So 3 and 2. So you take 3 and 4, so that puts you at 7. Are you still up, Sheepy? You're muted.
1 health.
1 health? Okay, so you're still up. So that's good. We won't change who was fired at, though. So, Charles, not dying, up and about. What would you like to do? You muted again, dude. You just muted again.
Sorry. It's freezing in my house, so I have to have the heating on, and I don't want it coming through on the microphone.
I can't hear it, so it's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's not as loud as my hitting.
So injured, guts hanging out a little bit.
Yep.
Going to. Is it full out attack?
You want to do a full attack?
But that's the same as the charge, right? Like it does a +2, but you lose your active defense.
Total attack. +2 on your attack, but you can only use your passive defense this round.
That's what we're doing.
You can do dual wield, flurry, or rapid fire. Your flurry is your character attacks twice using melee or bare hands. If you give up normal attack bonus, you take a -4 penalty on each attack. So you would be rolling -4, but you'd roll 2 times.
I don't get the +2 then.
No, you just roll -2 on either one. -4 on either one. Sorry.
Okay. You've been rolling hot shit on defense, to be honest.
And you also got 1 HP. Keeping in mind that if you go to -4, it will outright kill you.
I mean, the defense is.
You could always do a total defense.
Give up all attacks for the rain gain and +4 defense against all attacks.
It's basically portable full cover.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Oh, I want to hit them.
I don't want my character to die, but I also want to kill Nazis.
Let's just do a regular attack then.
Regular attack? Sure.
No, fuck it, flurry.
Flurry? So you want to do -4 twice?
Yeah.
Go for it, man. You could also disarm.
-4.
Hey, alright, yeah.
And so this is 1 on each of them.
Yeah,
That's one.
so you want to attack... Okay, yep. Okay, and
a
2.
2. Have they been attacked, either of them, this turn?
No. Only the one that's out further shooting has been.
Bugger. Okay.
Okay, so 1 damage on that dude. Do you want to use your second attack on the same dude if he's not dead?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Because that'll be another minus, right?
Yes, it will.
Brilliant.
He rolls better. So
Stop rolling.
I'm sorry. I'm rolling real good tonight, guys. Even if I didn't get reinforcements, you guys would have spent a lot of time trying to take out that one Nazi. Okay. Solomon, you're up.
Yes. Well, guys, what are we doing?
I mean, you could go inside, take shelter.
Wasn't asking you.
There's still more dudes shooting at us. We
Right.
could try to get inside and try to hide in there, or
To what end?
everything is flammable and explosive in there. They might not want to shoot stuff. Then we have hostages. Assumingly there's a scientist in there.
What do they care?
They probably don't want to kill their scientists that are working on the thing that they're trying to like research.
They have more.
We don't know that.
Yeah. They have all the scientists, actually.
I think we're killing them, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're doing.
So, I mean, from what you can tell, like, these are the only guys that are actually going to give you problems in this camp right now. The other ones, like that oil fire you set is basically raging out of control at this point. So, you know, priorities would change for these guys. And you would be able, like, as long as you deal with whatever these Nazis are in front of you, you should be okay, as the distraction will be very, very good.
Okay, here comes a shot.
Are you going to shoot at the... Okay, so the guy that you shot at, well, before his turn, so... how many shots have you guys? So, 1... No, it's a new turn now, so... Yeah, okay. Alright, this guy takes a -2. Alright, yeah, he's dead. You shoot him. Bam. That's the guy that ran up with the pistol, yeah? Or did you want to shoot the...
the group?
What you pick? Surprise me.
All right, closest man it is. Nazi 3. So that was Nazi 4 that ran down. So we'll remove him. Nazi 3. Seeing that Charles is still alive, he's going to take a shot at you. So go ahead for me and roll a roll defense with a -1. Sorry, defense and then a defense with a -1 because you get attacked twice. Yeah.
Well, it'd be defense with -1 and -2 because I did the flurry.
Oh, you did a flurry? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yes. Thank you for killing you a little easier. Because that's what I want to do. I want to kill my PCs, so...
Cool.
Alright, that one might be a little rough. We'll see how we go. So, Luger. -2.
I mean, the difference is 1 dice. It seemed worthwhile to...
Does that put you down?
Uh...
You're at 1, right? So that puts you at -3.
Yeah.
Okay, you're down. Then the second Nazi is going to run up and actually take a shot at, I guess, Tomasz. So Tomasz, can I get a defense roll from you, please? All right, you good? Bullets whiz over your head. Speaking about Tomasz, it's your turn.
Yeah, he has my attention.
Mm-hmm.
You said he ran up
Yes.
towards us?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of range are we talking?
The same range as the other dude that was taking shots at you. So,
So
yeah.
within charge range?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to charge him.
What's your move, actually?
5.
So you can move 25 feet. And then half of that is, what, 15?
Yeah, 17.
17?
No, not even that.
12, 13. Well, it goes up in 5, so we'll make it 15. So you can move 15 feet. He's about 20 away from you. 25 away from you, so... You can't get within melee distance, specifically.
What I can do, so charge, gain a +2 bonus to your attack, and may move up to half normal move before making the attack.
Yeah, so...
So I could charge at him and then biff the wrench from 5 feet away.
you could also just move and attack.
Can I move and then charge?
No. Move is one thing, and then attack is another thing. You don't get to like move, half move, then attack, then half move. That's what there's an actual trait for that. I think you have it, Drummer.
Mobile attack?
Yeah, mobile attack, yeah.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Okay. Alright, well, I guess I'll just move up and hit him normally then.
Okay, go for it, man. Hey, that's not bad. Alright. -2. Oh yeah. Alright. So he is unconscious, knocked down, out of the fight. So that was Nazi 2. Boom. One more Nazi. Francis. This guy is out of pistol range. So you would have to
Move and then shoot.
Move and then shoot. But you'd be out of cover if you did that. Your choice.
Where can you ping on the thing where he would be?
Like over there. You're
So
like
he's
you're here, right? And he's like over there. And Charles is like here. So you'd be shooting into melee.
But isn't Charles down?
Nope. Oh, he is now. Yes, you're right. So it would be nothing there for you to accidentally shoot.
Mm-hmm. So I still got half cover He's out of pistol range from there?
Yes.
From
it is.
like
like pistol range is about here. So it's halfway. Oh no, actually it'd be more like here.
all right. So I'm just gonna like hop out of the thing and shoot at the guy.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll just take it normal. 8.
Hey. All right, 2 damage. Blat blat. Yeah. He's
I was
taking...
like blood covered. I'm just like walking towards him, like,
All right, Charles. Blibbering mess. If one more turn fully encapsulates, your character is dead. So, you don't have Die Hard or nothing, right? No. Okay, Solomon. You see Charles get blasted.
I look at Francis and Thomas. I don't really care that much about. I don't know that well. I look at Francis and I'll say to him, what was the point?
don't argue now. Save Charles, kill the guy. We can take what we need and leave. And then I can die.
How many are left?
1.
All right.
You'd be like sighing, just like, what's the point? Nail in the face.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if Charles does not get treatment this turn, he will die. His character will be 100% dead. So.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I guess I'll go help him.
All right. There is a Nazi there, just so you know. But you can move the full distance. What is your move rating?
I don't.
You don't know?
4.
4? Ooh, that's gonna be tough. That's like 20 feet. Yeah. No, I don't think you'd be able to get there. You can run there. And I tell you what, if combat ends this turn and you're at him, I'll allow you to do a thing, because then we'll be out of turn order then. So you can fully sprint and be at the side of him, or you could yeah, so basically if you fully sprint and you're at the side of Charles, and then this man gets taken out, you'll have the opportunity to heal him within time, stabilize him. But if not, you won't be close enough to administer anything. Yeah, you cool with that?
I don't know, Charles. Do you have any dying words?
Tally ho!
Do you want to live or do you not care?
I mean, Charles has had a death wish ever since the start, so he's perfectly happy dying, taking out some Germans.
I'll shoot instead.
All right, then. Go ahead. Keep in mind, this is basically Charles is gonna be dead at the end of this combat.
Good.
Good. Okay.
You want to just use that I rolled earlier? Do you want me to roll again?
No, we can use that. I didn't realize you'd rolled, so. He's already taken some damage, so this would be that and that. Yeah, he's dead. Blat. So let's narrate this out a little bit and maybe wrap up the session here. But so what exactly does this look like? Do you sprint to his side? Do you casually jog up to him? Like, what does this mean?
What can you describe just the general layout? Is it like forest around us?
No, it's so basically you're in the middle. So the camp is mostly made out of like R&D facilities and stuff like that. You sort of came from one side. The warehouse where all this stuff is stored is like to one side, and the barracks are like on the other side. So basically, you're in like sort of like imagine like a western town sort of layout. It's a little like that. This place. There's a lot of people rushing over to the mechanic station, or the auto pool, or whatever you want to call it, which is literally ablaze right now. So there's a lot of shouting in German and stuff like that about like putting out fire and stuff like that. And you guys are sort of like off in another area. There's like a building between you and the auto pool that's on fire, and then at the end of the dirt path is the warehouse that you're fighting in. So you're basically inside like basically just like a dirt pathway right now. There's like buildings on either side of you.
Is there any trucks or jeeps anywhere nearby?
I would say that there is probably a jeep left over. Probably a jeep left over. Near the like officers' mess tent and stuff like that.
Is that nearby?
Reasonably close, yeah.
I go get in there.
Okay, so Charles is dying on the ground. You leave him there, and
Step over him to get there.
yeah. And Charles, the last thing you see is just like a smoky sky, basically.
It's peaceful.
To a degree, you're
Slow motion with
Click,
Britannia
click.
playing.
Clearly, you haven't been in the trenches in World War One.
yeah, clearly. What gave it away?
Comparatively, this is very peaceful.
All right. That's the end of Charles Cromwell Abernathy.
He lasted a lot longer than he should have.
Yeah. And
True.
what do you do with this Jeep, Solomon?
I'm gonna look at these guys and I'm gonna turn it on.
Okay. What for? Are you leaving?
I'll leave.
You just gonna leave by yourself?
If I'm gonna look at them. If you're gonna do something, do it.
I'm going into the cement building, grab some stuff.
Okay. Sure. We'll handle that next time. But
Not all. This wasn't all for nothing. Like I'm not going to leave now. If you want to leave, leave. But I'm going in the cement building, finding some unobtainium.
I'm probably going to hit the Nazis a few more times, and then then go into the building. Like that's what I came for. So.
Mm-hmm.
all right. Well, Solomon boards the Jeep. Which direction do you drive in? Towards the Say again?
I haven't gone anywhere yet. I'm just sitting there.
You're just waiting? Okay. Do you leave?
No, I'll
You'll wait? Okay. Well, I guess we can sort of just real quickly montage this out since there's no real reason to have you guys run into any more complications. You walk inside, there's scientists in there. You bust open a couple crates. What are you carrying them in? Bags, backpacks? What are you doing?
Probably some like duffel bags or something.
Yeah.
Probably something perfectly adequate.
Sure.
Like the camo green duffel bags laying around everywhere.
What's your inherent strength, you two?
I've got 2.
And Doc? What's...
Strength 2.
Okay, well, you can carry with you probably 5 crystals.
That's enough. probably.
Do you leave without getting information?
What information is in the building with all the scientists? Anything I can
Mostly
take?
inventory. Like it's a warehouse, you know.
Okay, so like I'd run over to like the whatever tent. Like if there's not going to be any more complications, I'll just run in and like grab a handful of documents.
All right. Do you have any? Let me take a look at your skills. Can I get a quick investigation from you, please? Difficulty 8.
1.
Okay. Yeah, you find a couple. Like you basically find a manila envelope that's in German, top secret.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like anything that looks. If there's a desk there, I'm just gonna like swipe up whatever's on the desk. I don't care what it is. Stuff it into my arm, and just
All right.
head for the Jeep.
Okay. And what about Charles?
If I run by him, I'll like. If he
I was going to
carries,
say he's dead. He doesn't carry anything, but then I realized what you were saying. I mean, it's a Jeep. We can easily throw him in the back.
Just stick a British flag in my chest and I'll be
that's
good.
what I was gonna like. I was gonna walk by and like Charles obviously has a flag on him at all times.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna like take it out of his like breast pocket or whatever, clench his hand around it, and leave him in the Nazi base.
All right. If
The
that's
British
what you do,
one.
that's what we do. Okay.
yeah.
Fuck. Cheapy. We have to roll you a new character, buddy. Yeah. All right. So let's do some shout outs and wrap this bitch up.
Is this the camp where we get new party members from? Is that where this is?
Drummer boy, let's start with you. Where can people find you?
Drummer Boy on Twitch, Drummer Boy on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all the music places. And on Twitch, I'm playing Into the Breach, which is the new game from the FTL devs, and Witcher 3 on the weekends. Into Blood and Wine.
Nice.
Blood and Wine is so good.
Yeah, I need to actually play that eventually. Sheepdog, formerly known as Charles Cromwell Abernathy. What up, sir?
Hey guys, I'm Sheepdog. Sheepdog Gaming on YouTube. Search for me. You can find me.
Nice.
I died. Bummer. Or Charles.
Doc
Actually,
Gast.
honestly, it's good for Charles, but
Yeah. What up?
Cool.
Where can people find you?
I'm here at times, unless I'm not, in which case, probably Henley's fault.
Yeah, it's probably my fault. Nice. And last but not least, we have Graham_complete. What up, sir? Where can people find your stuff?
Always be making
Are you doing like a video on this pinball?
several
Awesome. All right.
process.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm 2 for 2 on character deaths, but both of them were avoidable.
I mean, there's their choices.
It was their choices to go out. Yes. So, anywho, we'll be back next week with another character for Sheepdog and more Nazi punching to come. See ya. Bye bye.